Usually you pay for PPV, but this is free and this is real TV. Grab your cup, pour that drink, roll that blunt, and tell us what you think. Commas come pouring in, women be exposing, man. Fellas start to open up, shorties feeling down to fuck. It's a safe place, spill that tea. That cup is hot, don't let it fall on me. And the stage you keep it funky, might speak for she think. Vibe from the BX, don't even try stink. Even keep us humble, she consider your feels. And Tati got 3 kids, you better pay them bills. Time is money, make sure your clock is right. Sliding in DMs, you make sure your stock is tight. Ladies, they gonna tell you if you ain't rocking right. I'm telling you, dude, don't end up on top of tonight. It ain't all jokes, get serious too. If I can help what happened to me, not happen to you, it makes it worth it. Let's get drunk on purpose. Start telling stories we would never tell in person. It's real TV.
Welcome to TV. Excited to see
y'all.
you. Excited that I'm back in the building. Finally. Everyone, thank you for tuning in to TV every Saturday. I know that it's been a little wonky for the last month, but we're going to definitely get into that. My name is Anastasia. Always savage, never average. And ladies, if you want to do your intro.
Eva.
All right. I am Eva the Diva, as always. Today's episode's a little bit different, so all I want to say is to everyone out there is you are not alone. Whether you are a female, a male, whatever the case may be, just know that you can always count on one of us, all of us. But we're always here for you guys.
Thank you, Eva. And as always, Logically Validly Mac. Welcome, guys. Hi, ladies. How you been? Welcome, Shelly, our guest for today.
Hello. How are you guys?
Thank you for joining us.
Really excited to have you, Shelly. Thank you for coming on. Real quick, ladies, I do hear an echo on here for some reason.
Not sure why.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, on Val's.
It's on me.
Yeah. I hear it when you're talking, not Eva.
That means somebody has me on speaker.
Okay, so I'm not going to have my volume on at all on my live, so hopefully that works a little.
That should work. Okay, cool.
All right, cool. Everyone, so lucky to have everybody in today. If you're listening live, shout out to y'all. Want to give a big shout out to Joe. Today's his birthday. Shout out to Joe. He'll be in the building later. I'm so happy to be back. It's so different doing it from home. I don't know I guess because I'm in the studio, right? And I mean, you ladies have been home, but I mean, Val's been in the studio before.
It's a different
vibe. It's
it
a different
definitely
vibe.
is.
Right? Have a soundboard. When crazy shit is said. But today we're gonna do that mental health check-in. Second round. You are not alone. Veered more towards domestic violence. And we have some anonymous stories that I'm going to share. Also have Shelly. Thank you for joining in as a guest on here as well. And we're just going to each touch base on just where we're at right now in our life in the year of 2023 and what's been happening now that we're like 2 months into this year. If you have anything that you want to share and don't want to, have anyone know who you are, you could always email us. DM us on Instagram. We are live on Instagram right now. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube, please. We have a lot of views, but not subscribers matching. So just hit that button. It takes 2 seconds. We're also on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram.
We're trying on TikTok.
Yeah, we're trying. We're gonna get there. I'm gonna touch base too on what's been happening in the past month. That it hasn't been like up to par fully. But finally back to somewhat kind of normal. And let's get into it. Oh, guys, too, if you want to please comment in the Instagram, we're gonna bring up your comments. Also call in the numbers on the screen if you want to share your story.
Because it's definitely not
on the screen on YouTube.
Oh, but the phone number on the Instagram isn't.
Yeah. If you want to, Eva will put the phone number on the Instagram. We love talking with our audience. Just getting to know everybody, right? We're real and transparent. We want everybody else to be real and transparent. If you don't have a drink, go get a drink. I have not drank, guys, in over a month. Literally, today is the first day. Uh, and yeah, we're gonna talk some shit. So
It only does one, so it's gonna be either YouTube or
Put both in the same message.
yeah, or put it all in one paragraph.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody that's
Live.
joining our Instagram. Shout out to y'all. Want to join live our stream? Meaning, want to join our stream on YouTube? Go to TV T.E.A.V on YouTube, so you can listen live there as well. If you haven't already, download that Reflex Radio app. You can listen through there too. And after each episode, it does upload to Apple Podcast and Spotify, so you can check out our episodes there. And I think this is the 13th episode, right, ladies?
Yes,
I
it is.
believe
Yes,
so.
it is.
13. That's crazy.
Episode number 13. Jeez, it happens fast.
It really has. Time has been
It
going.
really is.
We're definitely excited though. This year is gonna have a lot of new things for us, and we're gonna talk about them as they come along. Don't want to give up any surprises, but I'm excited.
Oof.
Sure, 'cause I already know.
There's so much coming.
So many good things coming. So many good things coming.
So many changes. We're ready. And it's all courtesy of 2023, I believe. So
Good vibes, despite all the craziness that's happening in the world right now.
yes.
You know, just keeping positive, manifesting, and good things will come for sure. Right? Since we go with the name, Eva, if you want to go first.
I think you can go first. I mean, unless, well, I really have just a little bit more of stats when it comes to this.
We can discuss stats before we get into our own personal stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So when it comes to, well, Eva, take it away.
So since we are kind of focusing on domestic violence, okay, in one way or another, I kind of just reading through it, we've all been part of it, unfortunately, based on what it falls under. But I do have the hotline number also if anybody needs it. But with that one, they do have, it's 24/7. Okay, they assist you in English, Spanish, and 200 and plus through interpretation. Okay,
that's good.
They receive over 19,000 calls nationwide
a year,
daily,
or like
that one. I don't know if it was weekly, daily, monthly, or yearly.
That's a lot.
That's all it said on there, but 19,000 is still a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay, and this is nationwide. So domestic violence is a violence committed by someone in the victim's circle. Okay, so that could be an ex-partner, an immediate family member, other relatives and family and friends. Okay, now this is where it goes down the line, and if you don't know how to pick up those signs for yourself, it can trickle down, and it goes down to your children, parents, or the elderly also. So that's all included. Now that it takes a form in physical, verbal, emotional, and sexual.
Facts. Okay. Domestic violence is not just physical, and I really dislike when people just be like, "Oh, but they didn't get hit."
Oh, but he never hit you.
Yeah. Do you not understand the definition of domestic violence? Eva just told y'all. So,
you know, it's one of those things. But then I have some numbers. This is kind of like off because, well, we don't know. None of us are in this state, but it's still interesting. 10 states.
Okay.
With the highest percentage of domestic violence against women. Oklahoma is at its highest with a 49.1%.
That's number one?
Oklahoma.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
That's, you mean to tell me, so almost 50% of the population? Is that what that's measuring?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. I will never be moving to Oklahoma.
I thought Oklahoma was like quiet, like
I thought it would be peaceful and quiet, but you know what? Maybe that is another factor too.
Facts, true. Like your neighbor's like 2 miles down.
You know. Then we have Iowa in number 2 with the 45.3%.
Damn.
Kentucky with the 45.3%.
It's all the states that are states.
North Carolina with 43.9%.
What the fuck?
Nevada with 43.8%.
That's literally almost 50%, though. That's crazy with all these states.
Alaska, 43.3%.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Alaska. What the fuck?
Arizona with 42.6%. Washington with 42.6%. Idaho with 42.5%. And Missouri with 41.7%. This
You know what that tells me?
was 2023. So
What?
into-
Wait.
Only 2 months into this year.
That tells me a lot of the rural areas. It's not a whole lot to do there, but drink. and
it's
get
very
injured.
isolated in those areas.
Bro.
Okay.
What?
So now I got more information, a couple more numbers, guys. Hang in there.
Uh-huh.
So this one is just more of what is domestic violence. Okay. Domestic violence is the willful intimidation, physical assault, battery, sexual assault, and or other abusive behaviors. Okay. And that is as a part of a systemic violence, sexual violence, threats, economics, and emotional psychological abuse. Okay. Now it says in the US, more than 10 million adults experience domestic violence annually. But because domestic violence is a pattern, many experience repeated acts of abuse annually. It usually, I think what it was running it with like one time in your life. So for every one time, every 3 seconds, it happens to somebody, right? So if that was the case, but it being repeated, it happens more than every 3 seconds for everyone.
Every 3 seconds?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Then we have 1 in 4 women and 1 in 10 men experience sexual, physical violence and or stalking by intimate partner during their lifetime.
I believe it.
Okay.
1 in 4 women and 1 in 10 men, you said? Go through it in their lifetime? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, that, comes around with your lifetime now of PTSD, injury, or needing victim services. Now, this was the one that, and I don't, I'm the emotional one from here, but this one just really triggered the numbers. 23.2% of women and 13.9% of men have experienced severe physical violence by the intimate partner in their lifetime. I think that's too much.
Yep, way too much.
And that's what's recorded.
You're right about that because a lot goes under the table.
Unreported.
Mm-hmm.
So from 2016 to 2018, the numbers of intimate partner violence and victimization in the U.S. has increased 42%.
Increased 42%?
From when and when?
From 2016 to 2018.
That's like 7 years. Bro, we got to do better. That's fucking disgusting.
Okay, now, when an abuser has access to a firearm, that increases the risk of an intimate partner femicide by 400%.
I mean,
Did you say femicide?
So in 2018, the partner violence accounted for out of 20% was all from any violent crimes. 20% of that was domestic violence. All right. And then it says it is most common against women 18 through 24. 19% of intimate partner violence involves a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, worldwide. So this is on the WHO. So this is World Health Organization.
Mm-hmm.
It says globally, 1 in 3, so 30% of women worldwide have been subjected to either a physical or sexual intimate partner violence or non-partner sexual violence in their lifetime.
And to think, like you said, this is what's only recorded. There's so many
Yeah.
that not.
This is what's
And that's at 30%.
Yeah.
Bro.
Now, worldwide, almost 1/3, which is 27% of women aged between 15 and 49 years have been in relationships that have been reported with physical or sexual abuse. That's all I got.
No, these numbers got me.
I mean, I was like going through these numbers and I'm just like, wow. And the thing is that these are numbers from statistics that they know of.
And imagine, and the 10 states, that's almost 50%. How much is it of it that they don't know?
Right.
Those numbers got me fucking mind blown. That's insane. Were they just doing drinking all day and then beating on each other? Like,
you have to think about it like these states, they're very I mean I've never been there except maybe Nevada, but I went there to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I think I drove across Arizona.
States.
Really haven't been to these states, right? But when you hear of them, I don't know, and if anybody else knows, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're very secluded.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was shocked with Alaska.
That's very isolated.
Who the fuck goes to Alaska?
People live in Alaska. They don't.
People do live in Alaska.
Oh yeah,
That's the fun part.
I mean, it's really rare, right? Like my niece's family did live there. My niece did live there for a little bit too, because they pay you to live there. And then if you have a child that's born
Who was telling me this?
they give you money.
Somebody just
I'm like,
told
why
me.
would you want to live in Alaska?
Wait, they pay you to live in Alaska?
Yeah,
Why?
because there's not enough people that live there. Yeah, probably. Yeah, and then my niece was pregnant, and so she gave birth in Alaska, and then they give you money for the child that you have there.
Huh.
So when we moving to Alaska?
Right. How much they paying? What exactly is they paying? 'Cause I need to know.
The money's not enough for me to move. It's because you gotta get used to the fucking 6 months daylight, 6 months darkness. That shit is real.
I mean, I live in my house. Okay, about the house.
As much as we go out,
I mean,
maybe
we'll probably be having about the same amount of sunlight.
and it
facts.
depends on what part of Alaska too, though, because some of those people really live like fishing in the ice water,
Yeah,
food, living in
Yeah.
ice sculptures. Like, shout out to y'all, but that would never be me. Sorry, can't do it.
Shout out to y'all. Like, huge shout out.
And I think we have people that watch us from Alaska, right? When we check,
Yeah.
shout out to
Yeah, we
y'all. We're
Sorry.
kudos to
Not
you.
talking shit. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we're not talking shit. It's just stating facts. Like, I could never live there. But I do find it interesting because I do like watch documentaries and stuff. Yeah, and how they really like get their food, hunt, be all geared up in winter attire. I just don't like, just like I can't be somewhere that it's hot all year long. I can't be somewhere where it's fucking cold all year long. That just don't happen. I can't do it. I need all the seasons.
I like having the seasons.
Yeah, I think I need the difference. I think it fucks with my mental after a while. With just one season.
Seasonal depression is a real thing.
Yeah. I feel
I
like
really believe it. That's why I believe in change.
yeah. I think that's what happens. But shout out to everybody that lives there. And
That could be why everybody on the West Coast is still happy though, because it's always hot.
if you like the heat.
If you like
I'm
it.
on the West Coast. I'm not happy.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. It's expensive. You're right. You're not happy.
I mean, yeah, it's expensive.
Then
But
there's that.
I hear the weather is beautiful. But
It's raining and snowing in California right now. What are you talking
yeah,
about?
that's what I'm about to say.
I didn't even know y'all get snow. Is that normal?
We normally don't.
That's
The last one we had, I think, was like 1949.
Wow.
It's weird.
And the one prior to that one was like 99 years before that or something.
like, wake up, people.
That's global warming.
Yes,
We're
getting
killing the
real.
earth.
Shit is getting real. Once Eva told me that it was snowing, I was like, "What the fuck is happening right now?"
It snowed up here. It snowed over here this morning for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, but here's normal.
That's
Yeah.
normal. Yeah, in California, especially in SoCal, it's not really heard of unless you're like up by the mountains, like
I
Big Bear,
know
stuff
the
like that.
aliens are coming. That's
But
it.
our area, no.
So where are you located?
Virginia.
Virginia. Okay.
So
You don't really get. It doesn't really get too cold for you guys, right?
Oh yes, it does.
I mean,
It gets
sometimes,
cold, but not
like
not
currently,
like
no,
not like Buffalo cold. You know what I mean?
no.
No,
Yeah.
Do we have any comments? I see stuff, but I just can't see. I mean, I see.
I can't see comments
No.
either for some reason.
Oh wait, hold on.
No, nothing yet.
Anyone watching, you can tune in on YouTube to TV, subscribe, hit that button, listen
The
live.
thing is, I always go on it with my Instagram, so nobody's like coming on.
So then go on
it's all good.
yours.
No, she's
I'm gonna go.
you're on the TV.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what
Okay.
she's saying.
Do that. Yeah. You get
Okay, so
everyone.
I need somebody else on the.
Anna, go to
Hey,
the. I
statistics.
can go to the TV one if you want. Hold on, I'll go to the TV one. But y'all go ahead. Go ahead.
No, what she's saying is that she starts
I'll start the
live.
live.
She starts live with hers.
Yeah, I'm gonna start the live on the TV.
Well, that's where she was, and that's what she was saying. There's not enough people coming on.
I know.
That's
Right,
what she's
but
gonna
she
start.
can then join from hers.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
So
Makes
now
sense.
it's on mine.
Oh,
Yeah.
guys, that you get to hear the technical stuff that happens because we're live. You know, it shows that how real we are. So we are not perfect.
Yeah, we don't know nothing.
We're a work in progress here.
Facts. But I appreciate the statistics. Honestly, those numbers really shock me.
Yeah.
And to know that that doesn't cover even what is not recorded, right? So we're just like, bro, how much crazy shit is happening? So if you're listening, anyone that is going through any situation or has been, and if you need someone to call, even if you want to say that number out loud so anyone can write it down, save it. If you find yourself in a situation, we did find a hotline that anyone can call.
Yes, so for the domestic violence hotline, that number is 800-799-7233, and it is 24/7.
Appreciate that. So anyone listening after this, here's a number, save it if you ever need it. I know sometimes it becomes uncomfortable. You know, you don't want to talk about it.
Eva, I pinned it and things. Okay.
Or you know, be open about your situation. But we're here for you, right? You could always inbox us, hit the page. We don't ever have to share who you are. We get it, trust me, because we all go through shit and we don't ever want to speak about it publicly all the time. But we wanted to create this platform to, you know, for us to be transparent and real and be open about our stuff. Maybe it'll help other people be comfortable in sharing their own stuff. Because for us, it's uncomfortable. We're just going to be real. It is not always like we're good to go talking about our shit. There's a mental process that happens before we even hit episodes that we have to go through and be like, you know what? Like, this is not just for us. Like, this is for whoever we're reaching out in the world.
And
Because there's so many people that watch us, right? That we don't know, even if we change one person's life. You know, one person is a lot already. So, and that's our goal. Give me a second, guys. I'm just trying to join the Instagram line. If you haven't, go follow us on Instagram at TV. Everything's under TV, even YouTube. We're trying to get our subscribers up, guys. Just hit that button. Literally takes a second. We have a lot. Eva, did Val show? We have a lot of views. Shout out to everybody that watches all over the world.
Yes, thank you.
We see the numbers.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
I'll be surprised. I mean, some of our shorts we've gotten like 2,000 views. I was like, oh wow, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Can you hit
The one I was laughing about was about the one where they stole my kids. How that one got a lot of views. I was like, really?
It's all about the title. It's all about the title. That's funny. All right. So I guess it's my turn, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So, as I mean, you ladies know, Shelly doesn't probably know, but for the past month and a half, or a month and change, I should say, I've been sick. Was in the hospital for a little bit. Back home, doctors, they even told me a lot of people coming in with same symptoms, and they don't even know what it is. So anyone out there, just please boost up on your vitamin C, vitamins, because I just feel like it's almost like before COVID came out, I should say, right? There was a lot of people getting sick and they had no idea. I feel like it's almost the same. They still don't have an idea, right? Because, or maybe they do. Who knows, right? I feel like they knew about COVID and didn't want to talk about it. So during this month, a lot has been happening on top of me being sick. And I think too, when you're under the weather and still have to like get shit done and still work, it just takes a lot of your body and your mental. Especially that I'm into like a lot of what would you say, like homeo? Is that Alexa?
Yeah, sorry. That's mine.
Oh,
She said, "Is that Alexa?"
yo, that's hilarious.
Alexa's listening.
Facts. Especially that I do like a lot of homeopathic stuff. I rather that than, I don't know what is on this mic. Sorry guys. Than medicine, right? A lot of natural stuff. So onion and honey really helped. I did make some videos on my TikTok. If y'all don't follow me, you can follow me on channel.27. Onion and honey worked, but I knew like something was wrong when it wasn't completely taking it out. Doing more than one round of steroids, antibiotics, and I feel like that plays a part in your body too. So that's been happening. So I do apologize, right? Posts haven't been being posted as normal like we usually do. Clips haven't been posted, but trust me, after today, it will be, because I'm finally feeling like myself again. Also, let's just address the elephant in the room. I know that on here when we share stories and we're real, there's nothing fake about it. I feel like that we have to play the Law and Order SVU intro to every episode, because
We really do.
people be butthurt.
You know what? We laugh about it all the time in our meetings because we really be talking.
And we never, the thing is, like, we'll never be on here lying about anything, right? Anything we talk about is real shit, because that's how we're going to connect with everybody else, is about real shit, right? We all go through similar things. One thing that we don't do is drop names. I would say 90% of the time, because fuck Norman. But other than that, we don't drop names.
Oh, I shouldn't have did that, but you know, it is what it is.
Fuck out of here. He didn't deserve it.
We were kids. That's so funny.
You know, and I'm gonna just be real. I feel like I did, even with the ladies here, I did discuss with them if I should just go ahead and address this directly or not address it at all. And a lot of just sitting with myself on what I should talk about, what I shouldn't, and reminding myself of why I wanted to create this platform in the first place. So it goes back to where I just have to be honest, right? I know that I am on social media. I'm not like a huge person on social media, but I am on social media. I did have to make my personal page private. I do have women that actually stalk me. This is not a joke. Through multiple different pages. It's just ridiculous. And I have blocked an immense amount of pages, numbers, etc. And for some reason, they still like to go on and watch us, right? Or listen to what I'm saying.
Hey, y'all.
For that.
Thank you.
Really helping my views.
Y'all joining us today. We say hello dearly.
So in recent events, some individuals decided to take what I have said in episodes and pass the information along to other people, but twisting my words. So since that happened, it caused a domino effect of other incidents to happen, because the person was highly upset, which it is what it is, whatever.
Thank
So
you.
mentally, it has taken a toll because I know how I am as a person, right? I'm just a genuine, caring person. I've never done anything vindictive or what's another word like or
Malicious.
malicious. There you go. Thank you guys. I swear to God, after COVID, I feel like I can't fucking talk like
It's
how I used to. Like I can't even remember shit.
You know,
Or
I'm
right,
gonna knock on wood every single time. I
man.
think I'm one of the few who still dodged the bullet for a while. Hopefully that stays that way.
Yeah, like even at work, bro, I feel like I have to fucking. It takes me a minute to even just create emails or some shit because it does not come to
you
me
stay
anymore.
stuck there. You're like,
Yeah,
wait,
it
what
doesn't
was
come to me anymore how to fucking talk professional. Um, so the fact that I'm not that person, right? Even as much as you hurt me, anyone who ever has hurt me really badly, I would never do shit to purposely like do some wild ass shit to you to make you really fucking suffer. Like that's just not part of my character. Can I be petty? Yes, I can. But I am growing, right? And I am learning from how I used to be in the past. Am I perfect? Not. I'm not, right?
I don't
Um,
think none of us are.
no, I'm not perfect. We're gonna make mistakes. It is what it is. But am I an asshole? Absolutely not. Um, will I ever do some wild shit to somebody to violate them in any kind of way? Absolutely not. And I think me being sick so long also just connected one with what has been happening because it is known like you could actually die from stress. Literally, right? So the amount of stress that I've been through is insane. Um and we're gonna just address the elephant in the room and give a clear um explanation because
Real quick,
yeah.
Nasty has an hug emoji in the
I love you.
comments.
um Shout out to Nasty. Um I'm just gonna address it, right? And I spoke with Val and Eva, and I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna speak my truth because I don't want to feel like I'm shackled to shit that's happening to me. Like, oh, you're gonna force me to be quiet, and I'm not gonna be quiet because there's so many other people that's probably going through the same thing. And who knows? Maybe I have to be a vessel. Who knows, right? How the universe works. I'm pushed to do this, and I'm just gonna do it. So if you're watching my shit, you could watch my shit. You're only helping our views. It is what it is. But I'm gonna speak the real reality of the truth instead of y'all taking my shit and twisting it. And I've on here on other episodes I did speak of like exes that I've been with, but I've never said any names, right? And um I've had people that I've been with for a long time, right? I don't just be with people for a month or 2 months, whatever, and it'd be over. No. Um so I have spoken of the ex that I was with for 5 years. That did it and not work. And then I've spoken of the ex that I was with for 7 years and then dealt with longer in total of 10 years, right? Was there good moments? Absolutely. Yes. He was really good in other aspects, but then there were shitty moments. And so what was said was, ladies, I don't know, I'm sure you know, but what was said was basically like, oh, I was with someone and I literally did everything and they didn't do anything. I've never said that. I give credit to where it's due. I would never say that straight if it wasn't true, right? This was the person that if I said, and it could be 2 a.m. and I was like, yo, I'm craving fucking Reese's, they were getting up to go get it, right? Anything I wanted, I had it. Gifts all the time, like really great qualities in that aspect, but other things were shitty. And going back to the beginning where domestic violence isn't just physical, it's verbal abuse, it's emotional abuse, it's mental abuse, and a lot of people don't understand that, right? And even though we were together a long time and I never loved this person as much as I loved anybody else. Like he's literally was my best friend. And I think that's why it hurts more of the actions that have happened in the past month. Yeah. Because if I've treated you so well, regardless of whatever we've been through, and I stayed longer than I should have, probably, because the actions didn't stop, which was, and I'm gonna just be real, cheating, verbally abusive because he could be aggressive. And after a while, you have to be like, this is not okay for me, right? I don't deserve to be an option, or I don't deserve to be cheated on with other people if I'm giving you my all, right? And as much as, and I'm sure you ladies been through it, as much as it hurts you to walk away, you have to walk away.
Yeah.
You have to. You have no choice. When they leave you, you have no choice. Especially when it's attacking your mental. And I tried even afterwards, even after we broke up. I tried. Even when I shouldn't have.
I think you froze in the
I think
in
The
the
she's
shit
live.
that
Oh, you're back now.
can you hear me now? All right, sorry.
It froze for a
And
second.
tell me if you ladies been through this, but trying to not go there.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if you ladies been through this, but where you're like, oh, if I'm gonna go through shit, I might as well go through it with someone that I've been with forever instead of starting new,
Yeah.
right? And I think
Oh yeah.
was that mindset for a while too, right? And then it starts to fuck with you because you're like, okay, what's wrong with me? Why am I not good enough? Why can't they change? Right? Why
What's
do
wrong
you
with me?
need to continuously cheat on me? Yeah, what's wrong with me? But there's nothing wrong with you. What's wrong
Right.
with him? Okay. And so, he's messed with other people and they it's crazy to say, and I can't make this up, and it's not like I'm sounding cocky or anything, but they literally fixate over me and have to watch everything I do. It does not make sense.
Are you talking about like after or at the time?
At the time, even after. Up to this point. Up to this point, because that's why the events have happened, because they decided to share information that was inaccurate. If I'm gonna tell my story, I'm gonna tell it real.
Shit is your story. Who gives a fuck what other people think?
Yeah.
Or say,
And
or how their perception is.
It's not something that just happened like last week, and they're still trying to clear up something that happened between two people.
Exactly.
This is years ago.
Yeah. Even afterwards, right? I still tried to make it work. And it was the same results. Then it was like, okay, bitch, wake the fuck up. It ain't changing. It's not changing. So as much as it will kill me to walk away, I have no choice, because I have more peace when I'm by myself than dealing with that situation. Right? Because it will never be the same. You take a piece of paper and you crumble it and it's going to be wrinkly. It will never be the same as when you first had that piece of paper. So when you're trying over and over again, and yeah, it might be good for a while, but then it's going to go right back to it. So what are you doing? You then get yourself to feel better to then put yourself back in the same predicament. And you have to wake yourself up. And me personally, it's like,
It's
bitch,
hard.
wake up. Yeah. And of course you hurt, but I hurt more being in the situation than out of it.
Yeah.
It drains you.
It's very draining.
I think I think most adults, men or women, it doesn't matter, have all been in a situation that they can look back on and said, I was in that situation longer than I should have been.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then it's hard because, like you said, Val, like once kids are involved, it's even harder. You're building relationships with children. You're some kind of role model to them. You're thinking that this is your forever.
Yeah.
And then it turns out not to be.
My biggest thing.
You.
Right.
But go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I think one of the things that all of us as adults need to be okay or learn to do is stop wasting people's time.
Absolutely.
I think that at some point, this is not someone that you can be with forever. This is not someone you would want to be with. This is not someone that you can care about them. You can love them, but stop holding on to them just because you're afraid of letting them go. Let them go, do what you want to do, and leave me alone, kind of thing, right? And I think so many people, I'm not going to say mostly men, they're territorial and not willing to let go what they think it belongs to them So they'll go and do all the shit that they want to do and then hurt that person along the way. And what they need to do is just let that go, do the shit you want to do, and grow the fuck up. I mean, I just stop
Exactly
wasting
that.
people's time.
Exactly that. If you know that you're in the wrong and you've done fucked up shit, and if the person has given you immense amount of time to change it and you haven't, it's not for you. You just gotta move on. Right? So I'm sure the people that stalk me are probably watching this too. So if you're gonna say something, just say the truth of it. Because, and I'm only bringing this up because what happened is it just caused a domino effect of this individual to take it way too far in my life. With threatening me, which isn't the first time. It's happened in plenty of times, but this time was different because then the threats have become reality. So if anyone here has received any requests of a page that's in my name with pictures of me, it was not me. So people sharing what I've said on here to this individual then created him to violate me in ways that I never thought that I would be hurt by. And that's why I'm addressing this, is because sometimes it's like you have no life. So what are you getting out of this? Because it's not affecting you in any way. You're now affecting somebody else's life that has nothing to do with you. Why you're obsessed with me, I have no fucking idea. None. Because I have nothing to do with this individual. And I've made that clear. Did I want to end that relationship? No, but I had no choice because a lot of circumstances that happened. And it's like losing your best friend. Literally, that's what happened because we had a lot of good times. We literally did absolutely everything and anything together. Literally. Would even shower daily together. That's how insanely close that we were. So I was extremely shocked of when I've learned of things that happened. It's like, how did these things even happen if we are literally together all the time? So which of course is going to hurt even more. Like, is this not enough for you? Right. So that's how it happens. So, you know, and I know that we're talking about domestic violence, and in this relationship, there was a lot of moments that was way out of hand. Got extremely aggressive. Not only verbally. And it just does something to you and it changes something in you. And I think that I've been single now 4 years. And I think more I've been single so long is because I don't know if you ladies have ever felt this, but I think a part of you always looks for that great part you had in that relationship again, because it's something that you never had before, right? Our friendship was really great. We got along really great despite the bad shit. So when I meet other people or talk to other people that wouldn't do certain things as this person would have, it's like, what, bro? Fuck out of here. Like, I know my worth. Like, as much as he did shitty things, he really did good things for me. I didn't have to ask twice. Sick, not sick, whatever it might be. I got that part of how I would want to be in a relationship. But then it also came with other shit. So if anyone listening has dealt with someone posting pictures of you or videos of you and would like to talk, I'm here. It has happened to me recently. Part of me was like, okay, the fuck? People are going to see me naked. Okay. Cool. But I think that the trigger was, okay, now you're requesting family members. Like, that's disgusting. Let's just be honest.
Yeah. It's a violation.
That was the violating part.
Yeah.
Like, really? Like, you've done immense things to me, and I have never done anything malicious towards you. Now you have your little minions that watch me. Why? I have no fucking clue. But women, do better. Like, why are you obsessing over other women? What are you doing for you? Like, don't you work? Do you have kids? Like, it's crazy to think And I'm sure, right? A lot of women have been there, right? They're like, oh, I need to figure out who he's cheating with. I need to stalk all her social media. I need to see what she looks like. Why?
I don't
Let's
know.
be real here. Why?
That's something that
Yeah.
I've never been that female, but I know I have a lot of friends who do this, who do that, and
Why?
that's
It's crazy.
energy wasted. It's
It's
energy
exactly
wasted, ladies.
energy
Like,
wasted.
bro, if
Energy.
he wants to go, let him go.
Let it.
Bro,
And I'm just gonna let it be known.
I've had so many
Uh,
fake accounts trying to like request me for
Yeah,
friends when
it's
it's that
crazy.
person.
It's
Like,
crazy. And I had my shit public because of like our platform, right? Like, open to people requesting me, inboxing me, cool. I'm at a point that I need to now make it private.
mhm.
And we have our podcast page that you could always write me to through there too. But one thing I'm not gonna do is ever shut down things that I'm doing in my life. I'm only gonna be moving up. And ever since that situation, um, of course you need to take time for yourself. And on top of being sick, that's why like I've been more quiet and haven't been as productive with the TV. But I had to give myself a reality check, like, who am I gonna let control my life? Me. Nobody else. Me. Um and spiritually too, just I don't know who everyone believes in something different, but just know I'm highly protected. My family is highly protected. You could try whatever you want to. It is what it is. You're wasting your fucking time. Also, I have evolved since I'm younger, right? I'm not gonna be ratchet in the street fighting and all that shit, but I'm not a pussy. I'm just gonna say that. I'm definitely not a pussy. Uh I've just learned to be more of an adult
Right.
that thinks before she's gonna act. And
It
it is what it is, bro. Like, huh?
And I don't mean to cut you. It's just you have a lot to lose, so you were able to grow.
Yeah,
Versus when you don't, you do all this other mess that's
exactly.
very unnecessary.
Exactly. I'm not gonna be stagnant in my life. A lot has happened in the last 2 years, right? Like I finally traveled. We created this great podcast. It's just things going upward. And I'm not gonna let other shit hold me back from doing that. Y'all could be mad. I do not care. One thing's for sure is that he would never have anyone better than me. That's 100%. And them stalking me just proves that. I'm always a threat when I have nothing to do with these people. But some advice out there, like, please do not waste your time stalking people's pages or trying to figure out who they are or what they look like. Who gives a fuck? They're not you. Point blank, period. And if you got cheated on, you found out, they don't deserve you. It's their loss. It's not yours. Right? It's gonna hurt. Cool. It is what it is, right? You deal with the feelings and you get through it. But you know what that tells you? That they were not worth your time. And they're not worth it.
Mhm.
Because if somebody truly cares about you, they're not going to cheat on you. They're not going to lie to you. They're not going to call you a whore or a fat slut or all these crazy ass fucking names at all.
Yeah.
They're not going to post your naked pictures or videos of you. They're not going to threaten you. That's not love. Absolutely not. And so from there, that has what's been happening the past month. And I needed to just address it head on. Like, okay, y'all could do whatever. There's consequences to actions. Just know that. And it's not going to stop me from living my life. It's not. Because I know that I'm a great person. I have a great heart. And I only want good things for people. And when you have an ugly soul, karma's a bitch.
Right.
Just know that. So that's just sharing my story without giving a lot of detail, because the details is just really unnecessary. But yeah, I mean, if you've seen my fucking ass and
thank
titties
you
out
for
there,
sharing that, Anna, for real, for real. I know it's not always easy when we come on here and talk about things that we're putting out in the open, and it's difficult for us to share things without sharing too much.
Yeah.
Right. But I think that bravery to be able to speak about certain things, even when it's the most uncomfortable thing, is a big step. We all have hit different places in our lives. We're all growing in different directions, and the way we choose to live our lives is entirely up to us. And people should live their own lives instead of focusing on other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just weird to me that I would be that consumed with someone else.
It's like,
Call me selfish, but
how you have the energy?
Yeah.
I hardly have the energy with my own self. How you have the energy to keep up with somebody?
I really don't.
Bro, how do you have the energy to call me private from fucking the whole night and morning?
Right.
Because these women have probably found my information online and they want to call me private. Like, okay, I'm just gonna not. You think I'm gonna answer these shit?
You're breaking up.
Is it my connection?
Part of me is really
me.
No, I don't know what's happening here. And energy is real. That's why my you know, and whatever.
Really with this one, not trying
because
to get
people do try to wish bad on you.
Say that again, Eva.
That what?
I was saying the devil's really trying over here with the connection.
Bro, this never happens here.
Your connection's coming in and out.
That's
no,
crazy.
But seriously, I do want to say it takes a lot of bravery to be able to open up about certain things that's going on personal, and I know the type of stress that it's caused lately. But you know, you got a team here, you got support, you have family, and fuck them all. They don't matter. Fuck them all.
They don't.
Yeah.
And I have to remind myself, someone truly cares for you. If somebody truly cares for you, they would never want to hurt you in any kind of way.
Facts.
Point blank, period. Especially when I've never done anything. Never done anything to these people. And I would never say shit that it's untrue. Anything I say is true. If you hear it from someone else and not my mouth, it's bullshit. So I don't care. And I have to build the balls to talk about my personal, like as Val said, it isn't easy, right?
It's not.
But if I'm gonna talk, if my story is gonna be out there, it's gonna come from my mouth. You might like what I say, you might not, and I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. But I'm 35 years old, and I'm not going to waste my energy on that shit anymore. Life is too short. Life's too short. Right? I deserve happiness. I deserve to be loved, healthy, in a healthy way, and in a loyal and honest way. And whenever that time comes, great. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. Because I'm on a healing journey of just loving myself. So that's a glimpse into my life at the moment. And at first it was really hard. I'm not gonna lie. It was hard. And it's just taking it day by day. So anyone listening, you just take it day by day. Every day is a new day. And once the new day comes, you're just gonna go through that day. Like, all right, I just have to get through this day.
Yeah.
That's it.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. You know what? And if he ain't treating you shit, fuck that nigga. That's it. Who's going next? Val.
Well, I don't really got much to say on.
Yeah, good things happen.
For me personally, I mean, I've never been in a situation.
But don't you have the story
with domestic violence?
You didn't see the anonymous one?
Oh, I do. Yeah, I'm gonna share it after Shelly shares.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. For me personally,
I do a check-in of your life and where you at.
Yeah, I mean, as far as my mental health right now, I've been going through figuring out, like, I don't know if it's like I'm in a good place financially, professionally, but I realize my growth has has left other people behind, and people don't like who I'm becoming at the same time, which isolates me from my circle and made my circle much smaller over the last couple of years. And that goes for family, friends. And I've decided if it wasn't conducive to me, it was no longer going to be a part of my life. And I've also decided I'm gonna be unapologetically me, regardless of how people feel. And if you don't fuck with me, you don't fuck with me.
Exactly.
So I go through certain things where people don't like certain actions or decisions and things that I do. But if you don't see me for who I am, then you don't understand where I'm coming from, then I respectfully will decline to speak to you. It's fine. I can love you from afar. If I'm no longer taking disrespect, I'm no longer taking fake people around me. I'm no longer going to feel like I owe people anything or that I need to sacrifice or compromise anything of myself. So it's in a much stronger place in my life than I've ever been. However, it's isolating. So I suffer through specific times where it's like, okay, now what? And there's not people that I find that can be on the same level. And I'm trying to find that balance there, and where not lonely, but feel like I lack a little intimacy. So I have my moments, but it goes up and down, and it's not something that's consistent. It's more like just coasting. And I know I've been never been more self-aware in my life than I've ever been in the last few years. And so I'm working through it, and it's going to keep moving forward. Um Growing up, I mean, I've seen my mom go through abuse and things of that nature, and growing up it wasn't always easy with abuse in period getting my ass whipped. But as an adult, it's something I've never accepted in my adult life. So I am fortunate enough to say that, and no disrespect to anyone else, but it could be my assholeness. It could be once I saw something, red flags, it was like, okay, no, I'm out. I'm not going to deal with it. So
Shout out to you though, because that means that you're just strong in your
it
character.
wasn't always there. I will say this. I mean, I've accepted things that I wouldn't accept when I was much younger and learned from, right? However, I've learned from it and I never continued the same mistakes, right? And it's the problem with that is that you start to see them earlier. You see the red flags earlier. You see the issues earlier. You know what you're not willing to deal with earlier, and you shut down and cut them out. So it's harder to build relationships based on that and not giving people an opportunity to show more.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of the struggle that I'm having
too. That's also like a process in its own, learning to identify those ways.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, that's one of the things that I think I do very well in. I know what I'm not willing to accept, and I'm not going to, and that's just one of the things.
I think I just learned that.
Yeah, you do.
It's a process.
Well. You definitely do that well.
Yeah,
I think, and really quick, now that you said that, for myself, the problem I have is giving multiple chances, right? Because I see the good in the person. I can see I see the potential in you, and I'm like, this is the person that you can be if you only try.
Fuck potential.
But that exactly
potential don't mean shit right now.
And that has nothing to do with me. That has to do with the individual.
Yeah.
Right.
The thing is, you can't predict the potential in someone else. Someone has to want to be that person. And if they don't want to be that person, that potential means shit. So
and that's true. And
don't focus on potential.
I was trying to close some circles. I'll just put it that way. But I did come to terms with somebody from my past, and we spoke, and kind of bouncing it off of what you just said, I guess 10 years later, he says that at the time, he just didn't feel he was enough or in a good place for me to put me through that.
Thank you for letting me go.
I mean, just being
looking back, like, it was hurtful. We went through a lot of like ups and downs, but I think we did it to a way where now we actually can remain friends.
I'd rather take the honesty.
I'd take that. That's one of the things where with my ex, where if he had let me go rather than drag me through the bullshit,
that part,
he probably would have been given a chance when we revisit it, right? But nah, I'm good. I just was It's not something I want. I will love you. I can love you from far, but I don't want to be with you. And it's
Mhm.
just the way it is. I'm not going. I don't know. For me, it's just like I could call it stubborn, call it whatever, but I'm just not unwilling to settle for less anymore.
No. I get it now. What you're saying, I
Yeah.
I definitely get it now. Where I could still love you, but I would never go there again.
Yeah, I can still love you,
Because
but I don't need to be around you.
You need your inner peace.
Right.
You need to feel good within yourself.
Yeah.
Not treated like fucking garbage.
Yeah.
That's
That
not love.
sucks.
It's not.
That's not.
You know, and it comes with time. It does. You learn. Like myself, I have learned. I would not, and like you stated before, now it becomes harder when you're dating because now you see the
Yeah.
flag early. Even by
It's hard.
certain things, the way someone says something, you're like, oh nah, nope, sorry, because I
Yeah.
already can tell your
This-
personality. I can
Yeah,
tell
the standards I have today is
Yeah.
crazy.
It's
Crazy.
ridiculous because I legit was trying to explain this to a certain somebody, right? And I think I'm just in a place where I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I feel like I have gone through so much in my recovery, like my healing journey. I still get triggers, like today was one. But yeah, anyways. So I do have triggers still, right? But I was telling or explaining this to this person on how at the moment I am not looking for a relationship or anything of that sort. He took offense to it and was like writing paragraphs to me. And we don't talk like that. So right there and then the minute that I'm receiving all these paragraphs, I'm like seeing everything you're like reflecting of yourself right now, which is you need a lot of healing.
bro.
Because what you're doing right now, and he even told me, he's like, I know you've been hurt in your past, but I think like that's something that you're not allowing you to go into a relationship. I was like, no, I'm not allowing myself to go into a relationship because I don't want to be in a relationship right now. I'm not in the mental space. I'm not in the emotional space to have or to be in a relationship.
How can someone else try to tell you where you need to be at? That's crazy.
That was ugly. If you're listening, that was ugly.
Fact. You shouldn't. You just gotta respect it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, respect the honesty.
Shell, how you feeling? I'm sorry,
Wait,
we're
hold
just
on, real
talking.
quick.
You get a word in.
Sorry, Shelly, really quick. Sorry. I just need to address this comment that I just seen. And
I just saw that too.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. So the comment, if you're not on our Instagram live, is nice glasses. Do you have diabetes?
I don't understand. What does diabetes have to do with my glasses?
Can you elaborate on your comments?
She's like, hold on.
Because that just threw me all the way off. Like, what?
Is it because I'm the one wearing the glasses, right? I guess. I don't know what the diabetes is. I don't get it.
What is the diabetes though? What is
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Who is this again? Brother Nature, can you please elaborate on your comment?
Please call.
Because, yeah, or call numbers on the screen. Are you serious? Because that's just wild. I don't get it.
I'm not sure.
And I really don't. Eva's the one that really reads the comments, but I just looked over just to see, and all I see was diabetes. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Yeah.
I'm
there
not
you go.
sure.
That threw me all the way off. Sorry, guys. But no, I'm really proud of you ladies coming along far. I have to say that. Because I talk to you guys on a personal level, and I'm so glad that we've gone through similar situations and we're just progressing in a good way, and just up.
Yeah.
Of course, we're gonna have our moments. We're gonna be triggered. It's a part of the healing process, and just acknowledging that it's gonna come. You're gonna be able to deal with it better. We have each other for sure, and anyone else out there, you have us too. If you need to talk, we're here.
One of the biggest things too is once you are at a certain peaceful, happy place with your past, and you have a trigger that comes to you. I have had in the past 3 months, guys, like maybe 2 full-blown panic attacks. A lot that I'm not really ready to talk about, but it's a lot's been happening. And it's with something that's not even portraying about myself, but I'm somehow involved, and that just drags me down.
It's the energy,
And when you see that, you have to make a change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like it's the universe pushing it, because there's greater things for you. You just don't see it at the moment.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what the fuck? Why is this happening to me? But you
all I can say is don't be afraid to change your surroundings for the better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because we're constantly growing in life. And sometimes we're not really open to see the reality of why these certain situations are happening. We might not be aware of it at the moment, but we have to trust in a higher power that they're leading us. That's really it. Because doors are opening, and you just have to take a risk and go through them.
Yeah. So let's go 2020.
Change is scary, right? But
that algorithm needs to change of 2023, so we'll see.
I just wanted to say something random, sir.
Random that was.
A diabetes.
I don't get it.
Random for sure. It was.
Not just random. That is just. I don't know.
But if you
like to chat with us, come call in the number. You know what I mean?
Right.
I will chat with you, Mr. Brother Nature. But yeah. I'm sorry. I just have to address certain shit.
It's okay. It's not even. It's all right. Let them be. It's all right.
But definitely want to get back to a somewhat kind of normal this year. Trying to get back to my Muay Thai after I broke my toe. I feel like I need that back in my life. That literally helped me get a lot of aggression out, because I had realized that I do hold a lot of anger and resentment, and that takes away your energy too.
Yeah.
And I also realized, I'm not sure anyone listening that can relate, is that when situations happen in your life, it's out of your control. You can't control them. It's not your fault. Shit happens. Cool. You have to learn the lesson from that, and that's it, and move on. And that's what I've been trying to get to. But we have the lovely Shelly here. Excited to have you and join in on our episode.
Thank you for joining us. Sorry we overtalk.
Yeah.
Oh, you're fine. It tends to happen.
And yeah. And you know what? Is that we're limiting it as well. Like not giving like true details at the moment of things, because otherwise we'll be here for hours. That us. But thank you for coming on. Thank you for even having the courage to share.
Yeah.
That's big of you. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
And whenever you're ready.
Okay. I don't really know where to start, but
Brother Nature has a lot to Shelly. Brother Nature has a lot to say. We're gonna address him afterwards. But go ahead, Shelly.
I don't know where to start, but basically a few years ago, I met this guy, and this was in a time in my life when like I wasn't really looking for a relationship. I was trying to kind of get back on my feet and work through some things like family things.
Mhm.
So I met this guy, and I don't know what it was about him, but that kind of drew me towards him. But basically, he just had this look about him or something about him that I was curious about. And so I started up a conversation with him, and one thing led to another. We were going on dates and things like that. And he, in the beginning, you never see signs, they always show you a different face, a different facade.
Yeah.
And so, like, in the beginning, everything was good. He eventually met my mom, he met my friends, and everything was fine. But then after a while, it got to the point where I would be at work or something, and next thing you know, my phone would be going off because it was like, what time do you get off? What are you doing right now? When are you going to have your lunch break? Oh, I'll meet you, at your
Mm.
job for your lunch break so we can go together. And at first I thought, it was really sweet. Like he just wanted to spend time with
You're
me.
like, oh,
And
okay,
so,
cute.
yeah, I didn't think anything of it. Right. So after a while, it got to the point where, like, I think one day I might have been taking a shower and I left my phone kind of on the dresser in the room, and I found out that he had gone through the phone. I wouldn't have known that he actually went through the phone until one of my friends like texted me later on in the day and was like, "Hey, did you send this weird text message?" And I was just like, "What weird text message?" Apparently, he had texted her basically telling her like, I didn't want to be friends with her anymore.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, me and her, we weren't going to be friends anymore. I need to stay, I was going to stay away from her, that sort of thing. So I just got to the point where I, discussed it with him and tried to figure things out. But he basically denied everything, kind of made it seem like I was the crazy person at the time. And so at that point, I don't know, I guess it was just like the feelings I had for him or what, but, I let it slide. So the physical stuff didn't start happening till maybe like a year after into the relationship.
Mm.
And it was in the beginning, it was more like sometimes he might like grab my arm a little bit too hard, like if he,
Mm.
didn't like I was going somewhere, or, when he was talking to me and maybe I wasn't paying attention at the time, he would grab my arm and be like, listen to me. I'm talking to you. So
Mm.
things like that.
Mhm.
Um, and again, I just for some reason let it slide. And then it got to the point that we would be out in public and I might like stare off at something, nobody in particular. He got to the point where he would just be like, "Oh, why are you staring over there? Are you staring at that person? Like, you don't need to be looking over there." So it got to the point where he had this like mind control over me. It got so
Mhm.
bad that like I wouldn't even know like whether to look a certain way, or um the clothes I wore, I had to be like careful of the clothes I wore, because I didn't want to make myself look too revealing or attractive to anybody else, whoever. And so this went on for about 4 years. And then like the abuse was getting really bad to the point where like, cops were getting called, like neighbors were calling the cops on us and things. And like, um, by that point, because I was so invested in this, whatever this relationship was, I would just, deny everything because I knew if I didn't deny the things that were happening, it was going to be worse for me,
Oh, I
like
hope not
after
too.
the cops left.
Right.
Mhm.
So, um, the like kind of final straw was one day I've been working at this, or I was working at this job for a really long time, like 8+ years. And it got to a point where he started messaging people at my job, one being my boss at the time.
Mm.
Um,
Oh, wait.
and yeah, so when he didn't get a response back, he showed up at this job that I was working, and like he threatened, he needed to see me, that we needed to talk, that sort of thing. And so I went outside to talk to him to try to get him to calm down and that sort of thing. But like the people I work with, because we're like a family, they're really close, they were worried about me.
Of
Yeah.
So
course.
my boss pulls me into the office one day and she says, like, what's going on? Obviously something's happening here. If you need help, you need to let us know. And at that point, this was like 4 years into the relationship, I broke down because I had felt so isolated for so long. Like, I literally
Mhm.
lost because of this relationship, I lost, like, a ton of friends who, like, do not speak to me to this day because, they believed it was all my fault, like, I could have stopped him and that sort of thing. But, so my job got involved, and pretty much thanks to them, I was able to reach out to a center for domestic violence and they were able to help me through a lot of like the counseling part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the leaving him part, because it was at the time my place that we were living in, it was kind of tricky. So like I had to get the cops involved in things, and basically they like had to set up a time where I could get my stuff and then he could get his stuff on a separate time, and that went okay. But like them actually leaving him was hard because um I had to like act like everything was okay, knowing that I was, getting ready to make that leave. So I would start like storing all my personal things in my backpack for work, storing clothes and whatever I could grab at the time, and taking it to work like little by little for a week until finally one of my coworkers, who I'm really good friends with still, she said, "You're going to need a place to stay." So she offered to bring me in with her family. The part that I didn't mention, and I don't know if I told you, Eva, but the my son that I have currently that's his father. So then I had to go through the whole court process with that and trying to get custody. Luckily, he this guy, luckily he didn't want any parts of it anyways, so it was easy to get that. But this was during the time that I had placed a restraining order on him, so I had to keep going back and forth to court to see him multiple times. And every time I went, there was always a threat. He was always threatening me. He didn't care what the judge was saying. He was just yelling out profanities, all kinds of things. And I would have to sit there and like deal with this over and over.
While your stomach is like,
yeah, while he's literally right there with the restraining order, and they're like trying to hold him back, and I'm just like, it was insane. So yeah, so my job basically helped me through a lot of that, like just to start the process. But like you guys were saying with healing and things, that is definitely a process. Like it's been about 6 or 7 years now since that relationship, and I'm still going through the process. I'm still in therapy currently right now because I ended up developing PTSD from all the physical abuse, depression, anxiety, all of that. So it's a daily battle. I have moments too where I am triggered. I might see someone who I think is him, or I might, just going out to the grocery store, like things like that, sometimes will trigger me to the point where I would just rather stay at home. Like I can't leave my house. So I definitely feel that. Been there, done that. Yeah, it's definitely a process, and like all of my accounts, Instagram, Facebook, all of that, I had to literally go through because, I knew his family and I became a part of his family. I had to block everybody possible that I could somehow reach out to me, and go back and tell him something, um, anything, because unfortunately where I live and things, he, as far as I know, he's still close by. So I just have to be careful with everything I do.
it's like everybody knows everybody and everybody's into everybody's business. That's the biggest
Right,
thing.
exactly. Yeah.
First, I want to thank you for even sharing.
Yeah.
I know it's really hard, and I probably know a lot of what you're saying firsthand. The feelings of those things, and I think it's something that will never leave you.
Yeah.
You just learn how to live with it. Basically, I feel like that's it. Like it comes a part of you.
Sucks that we have to go through that.
100%. But I'm glad that you're in therapy.
Yes.
A lot of people can't even get to that step. So that's great.
Yeah.
That you're in therapy and get to talk about those feelings. And you're right. When it comes to healing, you're definitely going to be triggered. And I felt that the part where you said like where you see people and you think it's him and automatically, bro, that's me. And there's just this rush that goes through your body. Your heart starts racing. And it's like this body reaction.
I don't know about y'all, but my stomach is the first one that it's like it feels like it's inside out, and like I feel like it just all sinks down.
It's the body reaction to the trauma.
It's for me, it's the palpitations and then the anxiety, and then you want to throw up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I had like a full blown like anxiety attack at work because I saw him, and I was hiding in the sauna room, and my boss came and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I explained it to him. So he went out and he handled the situation, like said that I wasn't even there. But it was like one of those things where it hit me, like Shelly says, it's just one of those things when you're out and about, normal, regular day, and then boom.
And a lot of people don't realize how much,
And you don't even mean to.
but how much their actions really affect your life. It's not just in that moment. Like you're really creating trauma within a person where they have to deal with this now the rest of their life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I'll be honest, the first time that I heard it, when I accepted it and I said I am depressed because of this, I broke down and cried. Because even though I knew it and I knew where I was going with that, I had never said it to like accept it.
and that's the first step of saying it out loud.
Yeah.
And that changed a lot for me.
For me, recently, I've been to a couple different therapies, but like the one I have right now is a trauma that specializes in trauma. So we went through like a questionnaire recently because I wasn't sure if I had PTSD. And of course, like I was pretty much able to answer true to everything. You know, it just goes to show how much like one event or two or however many can affect you that much to the point where like you have post-traumatic stress from it. It's really sad because like the slightest thing could pretty much cause you to have to live back in that moment, and that's what happens. You basically are like back in that moment, in that fearful moment all over again.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've been told too, it's like, oh, you kind of have to let go of that moment because you're still living in that place. I'm not living in that place. I've grown out of that place. I've moved on from that place.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Because that'll be their response.
But the thing is that it's still in here.
It's still there. It's always going to be there. It's something you experienced.
Believe it or not, like within myself, I have forgiven this person.
But what people don't realize is that our brains are meant to protect us, right?
Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting.
Exactly.
The experience will still be there.
That's true. But for our bodies, right? Our brain always wants to protect us. So if you even get a slight similar smell, a word, a sound, whatever it might be that was similar to those situations that caused that trauma, that's when you're triggered. It's not because you haven't left that. That has nothing to do with it. And a lot of people don't understand that. It just lives within you now. Right? You can forgive the person, you can move on from it, but within your body, as a human body in itself, your brain is meant to protect you, right? So if they're in your brain, it's triggered by any of those things, boom. That's how it works. And I forget, I have to look it up again so we can talk about it at another episode of what the brain looks like after trauma. You actually see the difference. It's crazy.
I don't know about how mine looks like right now.
It's crazy. Right? It's just
Shelly, I have a question. How do you think that's also played a part in motherhood?
Oh yeah. So my son, he is literally my world. I feel like if it wasn't for him, like he was basically the positive out of the whole situation, you know. He's the best kid ever. I know every parent says that about their child.
Right.
He's the best kid ever. He literally saved my life, you know. So with my son, it's almost just like he was really little, like when everything happened, he was still around. This guy was still around. So, you know, my son wasn't at the state where he can remember things like now, but basically just I feel like it's made me a stronger person as a mother too, because you know, anytime I'm having a hard day, I just think about like, this is who I'm fighting for, you know, this is who I need to be strong for. So it just he pushes me to just keep going on. And then with the therapy, this is just something I know that's going to help me so that, you know, I'm big on like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the vibes that I give off to him. So like if I'm
Energy.
feeling anxious, the energy. So if I'm feeling anxious or I'm feeling upset, you know, I feel like the minute I grab his hand or the minute I'm in his presence or hug him, that he's getting that too,
Feel
you
it.
know? So it's definitely one of those things where I try to make sure that I'm like in a positive state and
Yeah.
take care of myself, because then I can take care of him.
Yeah.
Works
And
hand.
that took a long time for me to understand, like,
Hold on, ladies. I'll be right back. No, you continue talking.
it was just one of those things where, like, I have to fake the funk on my day in, day out so that them being so little don't have to see or feel or even know about what's going on. You know, like I remember, I was just telling one of my friends this, like when it came to my kids being little, you know, I used to only make so much. I didn't have a lot of money, right? But I swear, I think my kids think we're like bougie rich or something, because here in California, right, they have certain restaurants that on certain days kids eat free. Okay. So I would take my kids to certain restaurants Monday through Friday because they eat for free and I eat like chicken tenders for like $7.99 or whatever. Right. So boom. They never got to see like the struggle financially.
Right.
Fridays, it was I pick up from school and we go to Costco. They got the hot dog, they split it in half and they shared the drink for like $1.50. They both ate. Okay. And then we would go to Walmart because it was across the street. We'd go get like a $5 movie, some little 88 or 98-cent, whatever little movie candy that they have there. And we would go home, build a fort, and we would watch movies. But those are things that my kids now talk about and remember. But meanwhile, they didn't know what the hell I was living through.
Yeah.
But as long as they can look back and say, that's my memory of my childhood, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. And I mean, it's a lot, you know, of sacrifices, I think, in general that you make as a parent. But when it comes to trying to overcompensate for something that is not there, makes everything a lot harder, I think, on yourself. And I think for that same reason, I'm on the same boat where I'm still single. So yeah.
Shout out to y'all that have kids and really push through with the mental health.
Yeah.
Because I don't even have kids and I'm single. And it's fucking draining, bro. Like the mental health journey. So shout out to y'all for real.
I'm gonna look at the anonymous message that we had.
Oh yeah.
Let me
We can
pull that
read
up.
that and then address it afterwards.
Shelly, how do you think it's affected you, like relationship wise?
Yeah, that was gonna be my question. Like, how's the dating life now?
So I'm actually married.
Oh shit!
God bless. Yes.
Positive in this. I have
There's always positives.
There is hope for me out there.
Yeah, there definitely is. So yeah, I've been married to my husband about 4 years now.
Oh, God bless.
He is the absolute total opposite. Like he's one of those people that he literally will do anything I ask, no questions asked. He's my son absolutely adores him. To him, that's his dad. Like he doesn't know any different.
Aw.
Yeah, so everything's been going good.
That's
really
good.
good.
I'm glad.
I'm happy
That's
for you.
amazing.
Thank you.
There's hope,
Good.
guys.
There
There's
is
hope.
hope.
There is.
I don't know where you found that one. Because they're not up here. They're this is not much shit.
How'd you
But
meet? Real quick, how'd you meet each other?
Bumble, actually.
Oh shit!
really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
I haven't tried the dating apps, but
Bro, the apps don't work for us.
so hold on. So
Dating app episode.
I
don't know.
how was the whole dating app while you were like dating before you met him? How was that experience after a DV relationship?
Oh, it was.
I haven't tried it at all because I am that freaked out.
Yeah, no, it was hard. I definitely was just like, going through the motions of things and like not trying to get into a relationship. And then I was also like moving around a lot because, of the ex and things and trying to stay low key. So it was definitely non-existent at that time. I was just trying to work on getting myself together and then it was like a year after is when I actually started like pursuing it because my friends were like, it's been a while, you should get yourself out there again. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to do any face to face. And so someone told me about Bumble and how you as the woman can be the first to kind of, talk. So I was just like, you know what, this doesn't sound like a bad idea. So yeah.
Wow.
More
I think-
power to you.
Maybe we just gotta stick to the ladies.
I guess I'm filtering through shit, piles
Bro,
of shit, and piles of
The
shit.
that fucking
Maybe
comes
I
out.
should experiment with these apps.
You should.
Bro, we could
I've
talk
heard-
See
about
how shitty it is.
I've heard a lot of people now, like a lot of friends that I know have now found like their significant other, husband or wife or whatever on Bumble in particular.
what are we doing wrong,
Interesting.
ladies? What are we doing wrong?
We're not on Bumble, and this is not sponsored.
Apparently, that's the problem. I don't know.
Shout out to Bumble.
Maybe I'm on the wrong apps. I don't know.
To sign up for Bumble.
We're gonna start hashtagging Bumble.
No, I know my problem. I know my problem. My problem is that I don't have physical attraction by looking at a picture. And
So
and
yours
it-
would be reversed. You would need an in person.
Yeah, she needs.
yeah, mine. I would need in-person interaction for me to see an attraction. It's just really tough for me to be attracted to someone just from a picture. I don't know you, and that's not how I'm attracted to people. It's hard. Yeah.
We can talk about a few things that we've seen on these apps after we share
Oh yeah.
stories.
All right, so let me read the story we got from one of our viewers. So it starts off by saying, my husband would spit on my face, would tell me how I was just a pretty face, smack me or choke me. I remember once having a knot on the back of my head from when he yanked me by my hair. It was tender and swollen for a while as he laughed. Remember him forcing himself sexually while I was pregnant and did not want to be with him. He would say if I was really a Christian, I would submit to my husband. All while I stayed quiet and took it so no one would know. I just found out my kids knew all along. And they said thank you for being alive. And that got me because I know out of all the BS we've been through, I have been through before them. They know the truth of how our lives played out. He always had us on edge because he would follow us. And I also just found out by my kids, he would go to my job and go through my car. He would tell them he was looking for the keys. I have not been able to have a successful relationship since. I think that was the end of the message. So, yeah. He apparently used to beat her before they're having babies, and then also would rape her as well in your marriage. I mean, rape is still rape, even if you're married. I mean, that's crazy to me.
I don't know who this person is that shared, but first of all, thank you for even sharing.
Yeah.
Bruh, that was a lot. Definitely gonna keep you in our prayers for you. I think I'm about to share something that I would never share, but I'm only about to share it because of your part in your story. And I don't want you to feel like if you're listening, I hope you're listening. I don't want you to feel like you're alone. Well, hence the title of this episode, because you're not. with the part of him forcing yourself on you in a relationship. And I think a lot of people,
We all go through that.
yeah, I think a lot of people
Thing is, that's not
try to
normal.
be like, oh, it's not rape because you're with them. It's still fucking rape. Years ago, when I was real young, I was with an individual who I ended up living with. I was young and dumb, and it became very toxic. And I have to like really evaluate my life, because as I talk about this shit with you ladies, I'm just like, bro, majority of people I've been with are all the fucking same in some shape or form.
I guess.
Yeah, it was very toxic. He was very jealous, and like Shelly was talking about with her ex, he would show up at my job too. But then it came to a point where he was forcing himself on me. And in the place that we were at, there were like rugs on the floor, and I would have like rug burn on me. He was big, like 6'3", big dude. I have a type, obviously. And I feel for you. I don't even know your name, but if you're listening, I feel for you. My heart goes out to you. That's crazy. My phone just fell. I've been there too. I'm sure a lot of us have been there at some point, but I want you to let you know you're not alone. And I really appreciate you sharing with us. I would never have shared before. And I'm sharing it because you shared yours. And I want everyone to feel comfortable and see this as a safe space with us. You don't ever have to share your name. But just talking about it and getting off your chest helps. So I appreciate you for that. And it's not right. Like in a relationship, you should not be forcing yourself on anyone. No is no at the end of the day.
I think
And yeah, that's wild, and being pregnant. So
yeah, it's crazy how us as women, and we have to face, like sometimes it's like the expectation is there where we have to give in at certain things and we have to accept certain things, and then just because he has needs or whatever the hell it is in a marriage or in a relationship, that doesn't make it okay. Like
exactly,
I
bro.
should be
They
allowed
know
to
that.
say
They know it's not okay.
no. Like it doesn't make any sense.
They definitely know it's not okay, and they still do it anyway,
Right.
which is fucked up. And the person that I'm talking about knew it wasn't okay, because when I got with the person after him, and he was still stalking me, literally, this is when I left to Brooklyn and I was staying with my grandma, and he found me. I don't know how the fuck he found me, but was screaming my name outside the building, saying he was gonna burn the building on fire, burn me, put me on fire.
Bro, what?
Yeah, I swear to God, I had the voice clips. I had to call the cops. This is another thing that we have to do an episode on, the justice system in New York. And because it didn't physically happen, they basically didn't do shit.
Well, I think it just basically just New York, because I mean, prior to this, I had my own issue, domestic violence too, and let's just put it this way, I was not helped.
Yo, it's crazy. We got to do a separate episode on that.
Yeah, this is completely different. But yes, because we kind of tapped into it last time, and we're definitely going to make an episode in regards to just that
crazy.
mental health.
Are you waiting for just people to get killed? Like, come on.
I just think that I don't know.
Yeah. So real quick, I only brought that up because he acknowledged himself. Oh, do you want me to just turn myself into the cops and tell them that I raped you? And I literally, like, I just was quiet right now. That's how I was, like, what? That was the message she sent. This is when AOL was out, guys. Instant Messenger. Let's tell you how long ago it was.
For the babies who don't know.
Yeah. Hitting me up on AIM, right? And I was with my ex at the time. And
she read it
and was like, what the fuck? And it's something that I didn't want to talk about. But since she read the message, I was like, yeah, that happened. But
the thing is, like,
I'm not going to report it because nothing's going to be done.
Exactly. Because when I did ask for help, I wasn't helped. You know, luckily, you know, I could say I'm out of it.
I don't know.
Out
It's
of how many?
it's wild. I think because of what I went through in my upbringing, in my adult life, it's just something that I've never allowed myself to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
I would never accept physical abuse in my adult life. It's just, I think the one argument that I remember with my ex, the only physical thing, and it wasn't that he even touched me, he was being crazy and insecure. And I was sitting on the mattress, on the bed, excuse me, and I'm like, "What are you talking about? You sound crazy." And he's screaming and upset and about, I think because he worked overnight at the time, and there was a guy who would leave the building at the same time he was coming in every day. And who's this guy always leaving when I'm coming in? And I'm like, "What are you fucking talking about?" And I laughed. And because I laughed, "Oh, you think I'm a joke? You think I'm a joke?" And he flips the mattress while I was sitting on it. And I'm like, so I get up and I'm like tumbling over the mattress.
Oh,
Right.
shit.
And I'm trying to get off. And I left it like that. And I was like, "Yo, you wildin'." And I left, just left, because I was not going to deal with that. I'll let you be crazy on your own. Came home, and he left work early, felt like an ass, and came home, apologized. And I was like, "Now go clean up your mess you made in the room, because I'm not doing it." That's the extent of physical that I've ever been in my adult life. Obviously, it's and just because of everything I've been through when I was younger as a kid, I just would not allow myself to even be. I wouldn't put myself in that position. I'd completely just remove myself out of it. I don't know how. I wish I knew the way to teach people how to not fall into that.
I think, but I think as you're stating that, I think what happens is, only from personal experience, is that everything is great in the beginning, right?
Mhm.
And then once the first incident happens, it's a shock. You're like, what the fuck? And then they
Okay.
apologize, like, "Oh my God, I didn't mean that. Like, I'm so sorry. I was just angry." And then you're like, still shocked, but like, okay.
The same thing that happened with
Okay.
parents.
Yeah, and then everything is good. And then the next time is a little more than the first time.
Yeah, it's
And
a whole
then you're like, what the fuck? And they're like apologizing again. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
I was so angry. And then a
Right.
part of you is a little changed now. And this is only talking from my experience. I don't know about you, Eva, but it was like stages like that. Like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I doubt it all the
And
time.
then you're like, maybe this isn't okay for me. But then you're still staying. And the part I said earlier, like, you're seeing the good in them and you know that could be good, and you're looking for that to come about and hoping that they change. But it doesn't come about. Because once you cross the line of being either physical or once you cross the line of being really verbally abusive, there's no going back. Now it's easier to just do more and more as you're going down. You know what I mean?
You've already crossed that line of disrespect, so why go back?
Yeah, that's
right.
I think that's what happened.
Be going full throttle.
And what becomes hard to leave.
Yeah.
But after you're in that situation, then after that, I'm talking about for me. Then after that, it's like any little sign, deuces, bye.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the part that I wish I knew how to verbalize to other people, to show them this is how get away from. And I wish I knew how to show that to
maybe
people.
we should do an episode on red flags.
On what?
Specifically of like what we experience, red flags. Specific red flags for how they would be. You know what I mean? That's
I mean, I could probably try to think of red flags on what it is that I see.
Yeah.
Like how you treat.
For me, it's very easy.
Okay, go ahead.
I'd
like to hear this. What?
If I say no and you don't like it,
I mean,
that's a whole ass trigger.
Oh, bro, what was that I showed y'all the other day? Right? Somebody messaged me on fucking Facebook. I don't know who they were, and they were like, "Oh, I want to hear from you," and I was like, "Well, I've been sick, right? Like I'm not up to it. I don't like any negativity What?
That's some narcissistic shit for real. That doesn't even make sense. Who's telling?
No, you never said fuck you. Like whatever. Like
All I said
Oh,
was,
thanks. I mean, if I'm not feeling well, you could ask, "Oh, are you okay? What's going on? Do you
Yeah.
need anything?" Be
no, bro.
human. What the fuck is wrong with people?
I feel like a lot of people cannot even be human because there was somebody else messaged me. I don't know who it was, and I'm like, honestly, I'm just like getting better. I don't really have the energy to like go out yet. Whatever. You want to know what the next comment was? Oh, can I get your advice on something? This girl I know has been messaging me and wants to come see me, and I know that she wants more than me, more than a friend, but I don't like her like that. So what do you think? And I literally looked at the message like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
is this somebody who you talking to?
No, not even. Like they just literally hit me up like, oh,
No, this is an idiot trying to get your attention and hoping that they say, like, what?
yeah. I was like, and then you know what? Because I'm really like getting in on myself of just like being completely transparent at all times. I'm not
Okay.
gonna hold any feelings. And I was
Okay.
like, you literally just ignored what I just said after asking me about a question about like when I was sick. Did not respond to anything that I said. And then you want to ask me advice about another female? Are you kidding me?
It's like
That's
that.
No,
exactly what I
I would have told her to go suck a cock.
Yeah, I was nice about it. I'm trying to be better,
No,
guys.
no. See, the thing is, here's my thing. All right. Quite frankly, you don't know the person. You just start
Yeah, I
talking to
don't
them.
even know them.
I probably would not have given them the energy of a response, and it's just a wasted energy. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think I was just so stunned. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
What
no.
the fuck is wrong with you people? Like, I don't know what's happening in this generation.
I have no idea what's out there, but
Oh, really quick, not to throw anybody off, but Eva, did you check on Shelly? Because I seen that she just popped out.
oh yeah. No, she had to go.
No, she said she
Oh, okay.
she had to put her son to bed.
Oh, okay.
So.
Thank you. Shout out to Shelly for coming on.
Yes. Thank you, Shelly. If you're watching or you watch this back, we appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your story. It really is not easy when you're dealing with narcissistic, abusive people. They isolate you and make you feel like you're completely alone, and it ends up being that way because you don't know how to be you anymore.
That's definitely gonna be an episode where
not even just that, but kind of like how Shelly said in her case too. Like it gets to a point where they seclude you from everyone you know.
Oh yeah, they'll pick out every negative thing about each person that's in your life and your friend. That's not really your
like kind of piggybacking Shelly, you said, Tashi, of like that ex. I had that ex too, where my boss had to sit down with me and was like, "Yo, I'm afraid." And I was at the front desk of this location at the time, so they were like, "Yo, I'm afraid of one day." Mind you, this building was like so like brick and old, like, and I'm at the front desk. They're like all the way in the back, so he's like, I'm afraid one day he's just gonna come in, shoot you, and I'm not even gonna know. Like that's how deep it was.
It's reality of it though. You got to be realistic, and thank God they.
What's wrong with these?
Shout out to Shelly's job too for their initiative.
Oh yeah,
right.
Definitely, they saved her, and that's super commendable. Her boss, like the fact that you took that energy, super boss right there.
Facts. Facts. Bro, yeah. So.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at
to our anonymous message person. I just want to say, you are strong. You are wonderful. Continue to be you. Fuck all them else. Everything else. It's all about you and your kids. And thank you so much for sharing your story. And that asshole deserves to die.
That part. You know what? Like, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate also I gotta say Reflex Radio. Even though I know these individuals a long time, you know how life happens and you get busy and everyone's living their own life and you don't talk as much. But ever since starting this and being in the station, the support that I get from Joe, shout out to Joe especially, and everyone else, means a lot. Because I know for sure, like if anybody tried anything, like it's on site. And you know, even with my own family, but it just feels good because I think I struggled with friendships in general, as you ladies may know, right? And keeping a genuine friendship, and have to remind myself daily that no one's gonna be like me or do things how I would do them, right? And I have to remind myself of that. So I have lost a lot of friendships, but I have you ladies, but you're like family, so it's different. But then I know when I have the support from here, right, and Joe and the Reflex family, it just feels nice. Like, I mean, like I'm good no matter where I go, and even if I'm not around, they're showing up quick. So shout out to Reflex and shout out to Joe.
Facts. Happy birthday, Joe.
Is beautiful, amazing person. Oh, Val, they think that you're a beautiful, amazing person. Oh,
Thank you.
I don't know who that is, but thank you for the positive comments. I don't know if Brother Nature's back on here, but I seen your comment before. FYI, I don't drink milk. It's full of fungus.
What the hell?
I'm allergic to dairy.
Yo, you're mad random. Why are you even responding to it? Some people don't need that energy. Bro, it's not even that serious.
I didn't get it. I didn't get it at all.
Because after I broke my toe, then I need.
Yeah,
I
he was already just saying stuff to say stuff. So don't even.
Oh, somebody's calling. Give me some.
Oh. Okay, hold on. While you do that.
Jeez, what are y'all doing?
Me, I'm doing something.
They hung up. I don't know who it was, but if you want to call back, call back.
It's fine. It's fine.
I don't know who it is. No, I know. I usually don't acknowledge her and shit, but it was since I seen that comment, I was like, might as well say something. I get enough vitamin D, so. But thank you for sharing your concern.
Yeah.
No, I do want to say. I mean, are you feeling better since everything's going down?
Yeah. Today I feel better. I actually feel a little better than now that I said this out loud.
There's a different feeling after you because you live it, you see it, you hear it, you experience it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're saying it,
and
then you hear that.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm really like throwing all that nonsense out there because this is exactly what the hell is going on in my life right now.
Yeah. Because when you're holding it in, it takes a lot of your energy.
Yeah, but when you say it out loud, I feel like it puts you in a situation where you're now seeing really what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that takes you back because you're like, yo, it's from this person.
It's part of the healing process. Yeah. It's one of the things that
closing chapters.
Yeah, one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is sometimes just talking about it. You don't even need a solution. You don't need someone to say something. You don't need someone to even have an opinion. Just be an ear, right? Yeah. And that goes even a long way for some people.
Bro,
just having someone to be able to communicate with, and that's one of the things I think a lot of people take for granted. Nasty wrote, "Y'all men got to do better. It's truly sad that we come from women, and in most cases, y'all terrorizing these women while having daughters on your own. Truly could never understand, and I pray for y'all." That's facts on 1,000. Like it's just crazy, and it's sad, and we're just a couple girls here, and the amount of women all over the country, all over the world that goes through these things, and in our culture.
Mm-hmm.
In a lot of cultures, I should say, I'm not going to just say our cultures, it's very common with the abuse that women receive. And I'm not saying men don't get abused. It's just more common from
in
the other way, right? And one of the things that I see is how a man treats their mother, a man treats their children, or a man just how they talk about women. And if you have no respect for women, then you're just not the man for me, right? So it's just it's crazy, and people will show you who they are, and it's really sad. It makes me wonder how how are you raised? Like, how is this? What is wrong with you? Where's the screw loose? But
And that's why I think it's important in the beginning to ask a lot of questions when it comes to the person's family.
Well,
Like you said, the relationship with their mother. Do they have sisters?
no, because it's been times where, and I don't want this to feedback. Can you guys hear me?
yes,
Yeah.
can you?
Not all the time though, because I feel like when it comes to people, sometimes they're selective with who they're ugly with.
True.
That part. Yeah.
I think
I can say that there's been people who I can say are amazing parents or amazing fathers, right? Amazing sisters, brothers, all that. But there's one person who they could just never be that person to. And I don't understand it. I really don't.
I think there's here's the sad part that may or may not be accurate, but perception wise, when they genuinely are vulnerable or actually care about someone, they show a different side of themselves, of their insecurity. And that insecurity outweighs everything else. And that's where that negative bubble comes from, I think, or that abusive side comes from. It's insecure men.
I would say yeah. And then it's funny because you said what the cultural part, but that's why I didn't even tap in onto those numbers.
That is a whole different episode.
With those numbers, you know, or what is domestic violence globally per se, because you have to understand everybody has a different, so based on culture, you know, country and all that stuff, there was so many different stats.
Oh yeah.
What falls under their domestic violence, because obviously those are different countries, right? So that was interesting if you guys want to take a look at that. But
no, I think we definitely have to do a separate episode just for that when it comes to culture and religion and a lot of other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where it's okay, but it's really not okay. You know.
It's the problem is that women are viewed as less than men. And when you're viewed as property instead of a person, I think they can do whatever they want with you. And in certain cultures or religions, that's the case. Yeah. And for all the faults that America has, I'm grateful that I'm in this country and not somewhere else. When it comes to those type of things, because I think I'll probably be a murderer. But with that said, it's crazy. It's crazy, and more power to those women who deal with that.
Facts.
You deserve better, and hopefully you get it. I just think that it's crazy.
No, it definitely is. It's just I think I just can't fathom how an individual can cause harm to someone, watch them cry, be okay with it, then it comes to them afterwards like, I love you, it's gonna be fine. Like what?
But you know, it's not hard because siblings do it to each other. Parents do it to their children.
Thankfully, I don't know what that is when it comes to siblings.
Right. I mean, fortunately for you, you have very good siblings. Right. But people, like I've seen siblings come at blows with each other, pull out weapons on each other.
That's crazy.
Parents abusing their own children, and you know, they
one
may
of
have
the things
specific
falling
issues.
under that was also treating a child like an adult is a form of an abuse.
Yeah, because you're making them grow faster than they should be. Mm-hmm. You're putting the responsibilities on them that they shouldn't have.
Yep.
A kid has to be a kid. Did Val just freeze?
I think she did.
Did I?
Yeah, I hear you.
I did. Oh, I'm on. You can hear me, but you can't see me moving. I'm moving on the live. Am I back on? No.
Nah, not yet.
Jeez Louise.
Y'all people sending bad energy. Y'all can't. You're not gonna get through anyways. You good over here. Because this is so odd. This never happens. That's weird. That's
never really happens. Usually it's like one or two of us that has like initial at the beginning, but right now it's today has just been whacked out.
Y'all trying so hard, but you're not gonna get it
from the beginning.
Believe it. Exactly. It's fucking ridiculous, bro. For real. Wait. Is she coming back in? Or hold on. Okay, just hop in then when it. I hear on the.
And the reason why I block my microphone on Instagram is because I can hear Val. So when I talk, I can hear it coming through your phone. Yeah. Put your volume down. I don't know.
I gotta do research on how to really have this work seamlessly with the Instagram live too.
Ever led someone on?
Who was that?
How?
Who was that?
It says, "You ladies ever led someone on?"
Who's the comment from?
Does it matter? The question is
Oh no, because I just like to address the person.
Giovanni.
Giovanni.
Also known by Gio.
Oh, okay. Gio, no. I think that it's terrible if you lead someone on. I think that it's a waste of time. I think that you have to be real and clear on what you want and what you're looking for. Because why would you want someone to waste your time?
There you go. She's back on.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we could hear you now too.
You ladies ever led someone on? I don't.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that. See, leading on is based on perception. Okay. I don't. If I'm trying to get to know you, right, and you're trying to get to know me, but then I decide I'm not for you and you're not for me, someone's gonna feel led on. But that's not what the intention was. So
Right.
that's your perception of it.
That's what I was just saying, though. I think that that's why you have to be honest and clear about what you want and what you're looking for.
Right. If you felt led on, I'm sorry, but that wasn't my intention.
Gio, she's sorry.
No, I don't know him. I don't know. But I just think that everybody should be more open to what their intentions are, so they understand where it's coming from.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Leading someone on is just fucking. You're just hurting an individual. That's fucking pointless. Let's be real.
Yeah. I don't know. I think some people feel that way, and it may not be the case.
Yeah, because that's also the other thing too. Is like when you can only be led on if you allow it, because sometimes without communication, like let's say you are seeking for somebody or some sort of relationship or some sort of something with that person, but if that's not spoken of, how do you know that the other person has the same intentions or the same feelings? Because they could have communication, they just don't know how to communicate it, or if they don't, now you feel led on.
Right. I've had guys tell me that they like me, that they did, but I had no idea because you never told me anything. So now I'm just thinking we're friends, and then they feel like I was leading them on, and I'm like, bro, what? I thought we were just friends. It's just there really isn't no communication. I thought you wanted to take me out. Like, I don't know. We're just hanging out.
Yo, what the fuck?
Hey yo, what the fuck?
My bad for being ignorant. I don't know.
I mean, it happens, I think, especially when it's not spoken of.
Yeah.
No, communication is important.
100%.
Yeah.
You should be talking about that from jump.
If you like make your intentions clear from the very beginning so we can communicate what it is that we're both on the same page on. If I like you, I'm going to tell you I like you, and I'd like to see where this goes. Exactly. If I'm starting to like you, I'm going to communicate. I'm starting to like you, because again, I unfortunately don't like people when I first see them. It really takes time for them to grow on me. Mm-hmm. But you know, I think that once that's starting to happen, I'm looking for more. I'm communicating about more. I want to take you. I want to be with you more. Those things grow. So it's always a level of communication that needs to be there.
100%.
Yeah,
definitely agree with that.
All right.
Well,
how are we feeling about today's episode?
No, it was a great episode. Appreciate everyone, sharing their personal story. Appreciate Eva sharing statistics. Definitely gonna hit another episode with worldly when it comes to specific cultures. Definitely think we should talk about that too. Yeah. Shout out to Shelly for sharing hers. Shout out to the anonymous story too. just appreciate y'all being vulnerable and, you know, being transparent. And we want to be transparent.
To listen.
Facts.
Thank
Even though if you don't listen now, I know that a lot of you will be listening to the what is it? Recorded version. Yeah, the playback. So shout out to y'all for even listening in. Hit that subscribe button, please. You just help.
Yes. And we are on Apple.
Yeah, Apple Podcast, Spotify,
Spotify podcast as well.
YouTube.
It gets spicy. We
It
do
does.
serious shit, but it does get spicy. You don't want to miss out. You could be listening in while you're making dinner, getting ready to go out.
Hold on. Nasty said, Val be like, I like you, but don't like spending time with you. That's not what I said.
I like you, but from afar.
That's comedy.
I like you, but I don't got to be around you. No, that's not what I said. There's a limit. I'm a sad. You know what it is? I think that's part of. I hate to use horoscopes as reasoning for character, but as I'm getting older, right, I realize I'm really that character, but somewhat to a certain extent. I just feel like Sag crave their own independence and personal space, but also crave that intimacy and still wanting someone there when they need to be there. So it's really just knowing that balance, and I haven't found someone who understands my balance.
No, but I really think what happens though is like stuff that we go through really changes how we go about dating.
Yeah.
So
true.
Because for me, it literally takes one sentence for you to say to rub me the wrong way, then I'm like, fuck out of here. No. Legit.
Now,
like that's how I'm at. That's where I'm at.
Do you think that we are just picking up those key words and looking immediately like negatively on the person itself, and the person probably like not I mean, unless the person says something intentionally really ugly to you, but I'm saying just in regular characteristic of just the slightest connection to something from our past, you think we're also maybe like just cutting people off for no reason for that? Why is she dying?
Maybe
because Nasty just wrote, "Don't touch me, but be in the room." Yeah, that's accurate. Like I want you here, but just leave me alone.
So the reason why you can't hear me is because I'm muting the mic because there's like a playback when somebody else talks.
Sorry.
Is there?
I'll mute myself. Go ahead.
I don't know. That was just
your shit.
Yeah,
no, I can't hear you. I wasn't talking.
Oh,
I'm just saying. Why
I think it just becomes difficult now. I think for me anyway, in my opinion.
I think when you're still in your healing phase,
yeah, possibly
it's more difficult, right?
Because literally, certain words trigger me.
Right.
Yes, but I want to say when you're in your healing process, and just kind of wrapping it around with some personal shit, right? You guys know about it. Even though you cared so much for this person, and time allowed us to reconnect. Okay. Me knowing the cycles that I had been in before, not just with this person, but I'm saying just in general, as far as the way I looked into like what a relationship was like or something like that. Then basing it off of our past relationship, and I let him know like, hey, if your true intentions are to be with me, then it will show. But I would need first for you to be able to seek your self-healing, for you to seek your true path. And if at the end of the day, you could still stand there and say, you know what, I still want you in my life after being alone. Because here's the one thing. A lot of people don't know how to be alone. A lot of people don't understand that in order for you to be able to love someone, respect someone, see someone, care for someone, be with someone, or whatever else with someone, you are supposed to be able to first do that with yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
Because if you cannot do that for yourself, you cannot be in a relationship with somebody.
It's facts.
Okay. So I told him, if at the end you still want me, then we can go ahead and maybe talk about it. If not, I'll respect it too. It's cool. No beef, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys know how the rest played out, which I'm not gonna give out those details. But yeah, the point is you have a gut feeling that even no matter how you feel about a certain person, that gut feeling, that cycle that you know is still there, and you're like, nah, this time it's still not gonna be different.
You gotta trust your intuition. Your
Yeah.
intuition is there for a reason.
My gut feeling was right, so I went the right path.
It's never wrong. Intuition is never wrong.
Question is, do you guys still ever feel empty or alone?
Ah.
Depends
Alone. I don't think
on
alone is a bad thing. I'm alone, but I'm
Right.
not lonely.
like, wait,
Right?
what do you by Geo? Like empty alone? You can feel empty alone in a lot of ways.
You could be with someone and still feel empty and alone.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
A relationship doesn't define that. I think everybody gets that feeling of loneliness at some point.
I think
I'm alone, but I'm rarely
I think I
lonely.
can relate to what he's asking. Yes, there's plenty of times where I feel alone. Even though I do have a good support system. But as a human, I know I talked about this more than once. You need the human interaction, the companionship, right?
Yeah.
So things can be great, but I'm not gonna lie. There's lots of times that I feel alone.
Yeah.
Right, and it puts me in a sad state because I want to share good moments with. I want to fucking binge my favorite show with the person.
See, that's where I say it's lacking intimacy. It's not that you're not alone because you're not alone.
Okay, that part.
But
Yeah,
feeling that loneliness occasionally, that's lacking that intimacy there. I don't think that's ever feeling empty though.
I've felt it before.
Okay, but you could also feel empty with someone as well.
Oh yeah, which I have felt that before too.
Yeah.
My desk room for the
but
lady.
It's things that you have to work in within yourself.
Yeah.
Because when you feel empty, then you're battling. Maybe this is not you, but personal experiences. You're battling with your own self-love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been there.
I think when it comes to that, that part of being lonely, I've been there. Sadly, even in a relationship, so it's like,
yeah,
yep, 100%.
At the end of the day,
it's crazy. I think in my experience, I have felt more lonely in a relationship than I have been single.
And again, it goes back to the healing process.
Yeah.
You tend to not want to be around certain things that can trigger you. So you are okay with being alone. You are okay with detaching yourself from certain things that you know that no longer serve a purpose in your life. And that is perfectly fine. It is not for you to feel bad or like, shit, like I'm not talking to certain people. They're going to think this. No, fuck that. You move on in life, you progress, you evolve, you grow. And unfortunately, those people are still going to be in the same spot and they're still going to be in the same spot. But that is not your responsibility to bring them along with you. That's up to them.
Yeah. I think that I battled with that a little bit. Cutting off friendships and feeling bad. But why am I feeling bad? Because it wasn't on me. You know what I mean?
Question is, do you think you are do you think you're better off alone? Alice, DJ.
Sometimes, Alice, yes.
Yeah. I think that was a quote from Alice Giovanni. Yeah. Do you think you're better off alone?
That's one.
I think that it depends. I think what I would like is intimacy sometimes.
But
however,
yeah,
I've been living on my own for quite a bit. I haven't added up the time in a long time, but I enjoy my space. I enjoy being alone. I enjoy myself. I've learned to love myself, and that's one thing that I will say at a point where I'm better than I ever been. That's probably where my good headspace is coming from now. Have I always been there? No, but I don't think I'm better off alone, but I'm not mad that I am alone. Does that make sense? because I could always use intimacy.
Yeah.
I could always enjoy someone else's company. Does that make me better off? No. It could does. I don't think I would say better off wouldn't fit in that scenario for me. Like I'm good either way, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And then honestly, as you should be, because I feel like that is key.
Yeah.
To be able to be with somebody is by choice because you found some common ground between you two that you can enjoy a life partner with. And let's go ahead and do this thing together because you know who you are with or without that person.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think the better off alone comes from the peace of not having to deal with bullshit. Not have
If
to
you bring the
question the
thing is, if you bring
person.
in bullshit to my life, then I don't need you deuces, bro.
Yeah, like I think it's that. Like I'd rather be alone for those parts. Like not have to worry about are you telling me the truth? Are you talking to other people? Like I don't need that headache. That's why
Yeah.
being single
It's
is
not even just that too, but then when those insecurities are also thrown on you, and
Right.
when you've already been in that space before, you're like, bro,
Yeah,
you don't
it's
have the
just not for
patience.
me.
I don't need
I
this.
don't got that patience.
Yep. Bye.
Yeah, definitely, buddy.
100%. No, I think that's why
I think
nothing.
more men need to be open to going to therapy. That way
Bro,
their negative energy doesn't continue to hinder us.
that part.
I think yes, but everybody needs therapy.
Everybody needs therapy, but women, I feel like women are more open to therapy,
We should
especially in today's
definitely do an
world,
episode
than
on
men.
this. 100%.
I think a lot of men think that they're too proud to go to
Yeah.
therapy, and
Mhm.
that's
Yes.
anyone of my guy friends tell me I'm seeking this. I support it 100%. Their friends probably won't, but I will. I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah.
yes, yes, you
Fucking
I
should.
healthy.
have done that as well.
It's healthy. It's gonna help you out.
Wait,
So
what?
would you rather love than never love at all? So would you rather love than never love at all? I would rather love.
I
And I
mean,
would take
I
the
love.
pain with love as well.
Yeah.
I've loved like all
We
of
still
me.
believe in love.
I don't
Right.
think the ability of being able to love somebody here is the issue. I
Yeah.
think it's more of the headspace where we've already been at, that there's certain things from people that we're just no longer willing to accept. Period.
There's no patience for it whatsoever.
For me, just being in love doesn't always mean happy, right?
Hmm.
You can love someone and they not be the person you should be in love with, right?
Yeah.
I would take that to feel love for the good or the bad because I love being in love. However, I also know when it's conducive to me at this point in my life. So I would
Right.
not force this type of situation that is only going to bring me pain. So
I think
it is
y'all love
better. I think,
more than I do.
say it again.
Y'all love more than I do.
I do.
The
Yeah.
thing is, if you take love for just pain, then you wouldn't love, right? But if you realize that love is just as a strong emotion as pain, it coincides sometimes together. And for the good or the bad, I mean, with all of my experiences, I don't regret a single one.
I don't regret them.
I think with
Gosh,
me, I'll be
I think I
straight up
just battle
honest.
with.
I feel like nobody is patient enough because at some point they're going to want to have something more with me and I'm not ready for that, and that just seems to offend people, and it's like
Are you
out of my
communicating that in
circle.
the beginning, though?
That I'm not looking for a relationship. Yes.
Okay,
So
then you're
everybody
fine.
on here, even does not want a relationship, stop trying.
If you're communicating that you're not looking for a relationship and they still want to hang out with you, then that's on them, not on you. It's that simple.
That part. Nah, but I love that y'all guys love love. Not that I don't like
She
love.
said,
But
I love that you guys love it.
y'all love it more than
I
me,
mean,
to be honest.
I think even through the bullshit, like I've never, took off the idea of falling in love with it. And I think honestly, me moving forward, falling in love is not the problem.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Is
Who I decide to give my love to?
that in what I, and you can take it as you want, but in what I get back from that person.
Absolutely.
You know,
Consideration, reciprocation is all important.
Do we have another comment there? I see it.
Yeah.
We got like another 10 minutes. I don't know. I
Interesting.
can't see
So
the time.
what would make a woman
10
who
minutes.
doesn't want a relationship to want one? There isn't anything that would make one
That's like saying
want a
something without saying
relationship.
something, Eva.
No, I don't think there is ever a scenario to make a woman want a relationship who doesn't want one. She's the only one who's going to decide, I'm ready for now. Period. You can't. There's nothing you can do to make them want one. Period. And if you're trying to make someone do it, you're wasting your time.
Yeah, and you kind of have to understand this thing too. Like me, for example. Okay, I have set myself certain goals. I have, you know, kind of going back to the motherhood part where I say, you know, you sometimes overcompensate a lot. So I think I'm at the point in my life where I'm making those changes that I had to overcompensate for. To make first of all, to make my life a little bit easier, I think. But at the same time, being able to explore not really love per se, but at least maybe starting to put myself out there. But again, it's not even something that I'm like wanting to look for. And I think it comes with time. So when I know I'm ready, I'll probably be out there. I'll be out on the prowl. But as of right now, no. And I think
I
it just
feel ready. Someone came with straight actions. Literally.
Yeah.
Just straight actions for you. No words. Like showing how much they're
to want.
He said make was a little strong. To want one. Basically, what does it take for a woman to
I think
want a
that's
relationship?
what it will take. Actions for Eva.
Actions
like literally
goes a long way.
showing everything.
For me,
like
here's the thing, it's not just actions. She's got to actually want it. It doesn't matter the actions. It doesn't matter what the guy wants in any way. She needs to
I
want
think
it.
though
She
for
has to
Eva
be
that
open to it.
she'll fall for like, not in a bad way, but I'm saying like the cute gestures, the flowers, just because.
Consideration.
If you write her a letter,
Consideration goes
she's
a long
wet.
way.
That's it. You got her.
The fairy tale. Yeah. Write the 4-page letter.
You guys, I'm
What?
She's in there. That's it.
So we know what would grab you, then the guys know, right?
Yeah, I know Eva for sure. She wants those.
He's over here listing them like, guys, take notes. This is what you need.
I know Eva, bro. Take these things down.
Hold on. We got another. Hugo says, "Hi, Hugo. Thank you for joining. The best quote I've heard about love is to love someone. To love someone is to see them for who they are without trying to change them."
Yeah,
that's an accurate statement.
Yeah.
100%.
Because that's one thing that I've noticed too. And they're like, oh, like, but he doesn't want to be like this, or he doesn't want to be like that, but he's still not like doing this and he's not doing that. Well, did he ever do it? No, but I want him to. Well, that's not who he is.
That's not him. Yeah.
That's you putting it
on her.
On a person to mold them into who you want them to be. So at the end of the day, you were never really in love with that person. Because when you love somebody, you love them for who they are with their own awesomeness, right? If you cannot do that, then go find yourself another project for somebody who really wouldn't mind being a project.
Can't be out here changing anyone. Someone's gonna change on their own.
Facts.
You either like them or you don't. Point blank. Period.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Good point, good ladies. we just hit him like a right.
What was that?
No, I was saying good point.
Oh.
Yeah. If you want to train someone or something, get a puppy.
There you go.
True story.
Exactly. Like,
true story.
Everyone's an individual. They all have characters about themselves. If you don't like it or if you don't love it, they are not for you. That's it. You cannot.
I think what the problem is, a lot of people need to realize you're not gonna like everything about someone, right?
No
one's perfect. No one.
Bro, the smallest shit bothers me. Literally.
So what bothers you?
Like the smallest things be bothering me.
Oh.
But
like
if
what?
I love someone, I let it go. Like one of them is like, this is probably fucking random. When you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and then you leave the peanut butter on the spoon in the sink, like why can't you just wipe them before you put it in the sink? Why are you gonna
bother? Oh, that would irk my soul.
Peanut butter off the spoon. So then the sponge could have peanut butter. Like, And I only bring that up because I used to have it in my other relationship, and he'd be like, "Bro, what the fuck?" And I'm like, "Can you just wipe it? Can you just wipe it?"
No,
And I
you know
know
what
it's
my
not
ex
you,
used to
but
do? Leave the cabinet doors open every
that's
time he was in the
annoying.
kitchen.
Oh, that's annoying.
That or when he got in the shower, left the clothes on the floor.
Oh,
That used to make me want to stab him. But
Right
you know,
next to the hamper.
oh, yeah.
no, on the floor. Oh my god! Like, bro, pick your shit up. Like, I'm not your mother. That shit used to that. Although he wasn't a slob, he was cleaner than I am. I will say that. But those little things used to be like, ooh,
And
I
if
wanna
you
stab
love
you.
them anyway with those little things, you know it's
Oh
for
yeah,
real.
Now, are
yeah.
these like
Right?
selective times, or are they just more of everyday thing?
What do you mean?
I
Like,
think it's an
Like
everyday
those
thing for
things
me.
would happen. Would it be like an everyday thing, or would it be just like here and there?
the clothes on the floor was an everyday thing. It was just a habit that he grew up with and always did, and it irked my soul. And it would sit there because I wasn't picking up your shit. Um, but the cabinet thing, that was a sporadic thing. That wasn't something that happened every day. It was like he was just mindless about it. So
Right.
It's just the peanut butter thing for me.
no, I was just saying silly
He
stuff.
did
Is that
good with
you brought up
everything.
the peanut butter thing? I understand. Like I would be
Oh,
annoyed
come
by
on.
it. So
Okay,
that's
thank
why I
you.
thought
I'm not
of.
crazy.
No, I was trying to like so you're not alone. I thought of those silly things that used to irk me, but that didn't change that you know,
Yeah, you still
whatever.
love them regardless. You just get annoyed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see another comment there before we go. If you want to read it.
Hugo says, so here's the thing. Those things can annoy you or grate at your soul, but if something happened to that person, you would miss that thing that annoyed you from them. Yep,
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
absolutely.
You get annoyed in the moment, of course.
What I'm
But
saying is, I mean, that's the point of what I was trying to say is like I still love that person.
yeah.
Understand that no one's perfect. I'm not unrealistic to that, right? It's just I also would understand certain things that I wouldn't tolerate, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Kind of got off.
They ask, is missed? Wow, I can't read today. Mixed signals a real thing?
Y'all want to ask the question. Y'all want to ask the questions at the end of the episode.
Right.
Mixed signals, absolutely.
Mixed
Bro,
signals
I
is
have
a
a
real
whole.
thing.
If we had the time, I would really go through it.
Yeah,
I
we're gonna make
feel
an
like
episode on that one. I think that's a good one to
it
talk
is
about.
just inconsiderate that you do mixed signals. It's fucking pointless. You're wasting your time doing that to someone.
Yep.
That's my opinion about it.
You're wasting your time, their time, and you're
Yeah.
only gonna have someone who resents you for it.
Exactly. When you
If
could
you're
just
not
be
feeling
real.
them, let it go.
And I feel like people that do mixed signals is because they're lonely and they just like they're having attention from someone even though they really don't want them. Make it make sense.
But that's the thing too. Is like, why would somebody give somebody else attention? I mean, like, I would get it if you guys are friends or whatever. Again, it comes back to the communication.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That.
So it's like,
here's the thing. Also, I want to say
because you're both on two different parties.
Yeah. Because if I think you're my friend and you think you're pursuing something, that's not my fault. That's on you because you never told me you were trying to pursue something.
Did you make it clear to them
that I thought we were friends? I'm not. First of all, if someone I like, they know I like them. Like I'll flirt. But if someone I'm just chilling with, is someone who's a friend,
sometimes
that's
people
just a
interpret
friend.
flirting differently. They could just be like, "Oh, she's friendly,"
right?
Bruh, nah.
Or they could take your friendliness as flirting.
They could, yes. Is that my fault or their fault?
Because I'm friendly and I don't need to flirt with everybody.
That's not my fault that you thought I was flirting. I don't know what you thought it was, but it's definitely not that. You know what I mean?
I was raised with that.
That's like when niggas be like, "That's not my fault. She thought she was in a relationship with me." But
that's not the same. That's not the same.
It is not the same because I'm gonna tell you one thing. They have a valid
communication
point, and that is why they don't do it because they can say shit like that. When they can say, "Oh, well, she thought she was in a relationship."
Bro, I hate when niggas be like that.
Treating her like that, but you never asked her, so you can say exactly this.
Mm-hmm.
Have no repercussion to the situation.
Mixed signals is fucking corny. I'm gonna just tell y'all that. And just to hit that really quick before we go, like I had an individual buy me a lot of things, talk to me a lot every day, express they had feelings for me, for it to be just a joke. Make it make sense.
Wait,
yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm. Oh, they were talking to my friend the whole time. At the same time. So you're giving signals of that you're really into me and want this to be more than what it is. For then you really don't want it to be? Like, that's stupid.
Well,
That's
so why not doing that? That's just some evil shit.
Stupid.
Yo, you've had some evil motherfuckers around you.
Bro.
But you know what?
Yo,
it's moving with our lives.
I need to write a book.
Better.
Word.
It don't make no sense. Like, if you're a human being, why would you just want to hurt people in general and in whatever aspect of it? Like, you shouldn't be out here looking to hurt individuals. It doesn't make no fucking sense. Karma is real and it's gonna come back to you in some kind of way in your life. So there's that. But I love the comments and the questions. Unfortunately, we have to go. We already went over a little bit. I miss being in the studio. Honestly, I could keep talking for hours with every one of y'all. But we do have to go, unfortunately.
I know.
So,
but we will be here next Saturday. Topic is TBD. Oh, Eva will not be. But it'll be
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So please join us next week.
Yeah.
With
I'll post with the topic.
We'll figure that out.
On what's next, but you don't want to miss out regardless, because it's always some spicy shit or us spilling the tea.
And a lot of stuff is coming. So
but thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for everyone sharing their story. Thank you for Shelly coming on as a guest. Thank you to our anonymous person sharing their story. I know that it's hard. Shout out to y'all, for talking about where you are in your life right now. I'm glad to be back to some kind of normal. I'm looking forward to next week. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, please. Everyone's viewing. We're not pressing that subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds. Just hit that subscribe. It helps us out. We love to be here. We love to discuss a lot of different topics and be real. We want to relate and connect with a lot of people that do watch us all over the world. So shout out to everybody that watches us in all those different states. Follow our Instagram on TV, our TikTok, our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. That's everything, right?
All that good stuff.
Yeah, all that good stuff. Hit that follow, share it. We're on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. After each episode is on there too. These episodes upload on YouTube as well. And my name's Anastasia. Never average, always savage. This says on my hat. I found this out. I was like, oh, this is fire. And go ahead, y'all.
Well, I just want to thank everybody who did share and sent their messages and had questions. And even for the ones who didn't speak up, but still listened and related in secret, in silence.
Facts.
Don't be afraid to speak. Speak up, because for one, you're not alone. And two, it's very ironic. I don't know if you guys noticed, but while you guys were talking, I kept looking out the window long because obviously it was still bright. And it's been very gloomy outside because, everything's been snowing and raining, but a double rainbow popped up. So I guess the message is just know that there is a positive. There is a light at the end of the rainbow.
Facts. That's dope.
That's all for me.
That's dope.
Well, as always, guys, we appreciate you joining. And this is Valerie V Max. Stay logically valid as always. And have a good night, guys.
Good night to
next week.
everybody. Oh, shout out to Joe had a Reflex Radio one more time. Happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, Joe.
Thank you everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next Saturday. Hit that notification button, 6 p.m. Eastern. If it's not 6, it's always like 6:30. I know that we be running late a little bit of time, but
sometimes it's technical difficulties, guys.
facts. We
don't be late.
Yeah, but we be here, just the technical stuff. But yes, and go hit that subscribe button, guys, please, and listen to our episode if you missed it. And we'll see you next Saturday.
Good night.
Bye.